Hey!
Hi. I'm waiting, but you can.
Hi, everyone. Welcome in. Welcome in. Hold on, I gotta get you guys music because it's not fair for chat to just listen to music. Well, there we go. All right, now I had pause this because I don't want double music. Okay, hold on. There.
Many
cool.
things. So many things.
There we go.
Hi. Hello.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Reality
Hi.
Break, where we take a break from the real world to play some Dungeons and Dragons. Welcome in. As you've noticed, we are short a party member tonight. Dee, our wonderful artificer Morag, had some prior engagements to tend to tonight, so she's hanging out with other people because I don't know about you guys. I don't have any other friends besides you, so I really think she made these people up. That's kind of what I noticed, for sure.
She lost her 20-sided die, and then she didn't want to tell us.
Yeah, exactly. So the party will be traveling on with her in a limited capacity, i.e., she will be role played out by other individuals. And yeah, tonight we are going to be delving into follow-ups with Commander Icewind after the party did some investigating last week. So they're going to go meet up with Commander Icewind of the garrison, Furon Garrison, and see if they can get some questions answered or ask some questions of their own. But let's start, as always, with shamelessly talking about how awesome we are. First thing we're going to talk about is the fact we are now at 100 followers.
Yay!
Shout out to the people.
God, I almost dumped my tea.
That's how excited you are. So yeah, we had a special shout out to our 100 follower whose name is Frandy and Friends. Thank you for being number 100. And thank you for watching during the replay. We always enjoy people that come in and, do stuff during the replay because not everybody gets a chance to see it live, and it's fun seeing new fun people pop in and check us out for the first time. So thank you. We very much appreciate it. Thing number 2, as always, shameless plug number 2 is how much we love clips of ourselves. Christy, how much do we love clips about ourselves?
We love clips. We love clips so much. Clips help us get discovered. They help expand our reach on Twitch. We also take those clips and post them in places like TikTok and other places. For example, I just posted a clip on TikTok yesterday. So if you follow us on TikTok, which you should, sometimes you'll see clips there. When you take a clip, use the little movie clapper thingy down below. I don't know where it is. I think it's over there somewhere. Make sure you give it a title because that's how it gets discovered in other places on Twitch. And that also helps us know why it is that you clipped it and helps us when we are searching through clips to find ones to post other places. So, we love clips. Clips are wonderful. I love going back and looking at them. There's a few because when I'm editing them for TikTok, I watch them over and over and over again. And there's some of them that make me laugh every time. And it makes me happy. So it makes all of us happy.
There we
go clip things.
Yes, go clip things. Clip. Because, we don't get a chance to catch stuff when we're in the middle of playing and stuff. So, whenever somebody gets a chance to follow back in and find something and, share it, we always appreciate that very much. And
it could be funny or something touching or a particularly good role play or a funny voice or whatever it is.
There we go.
It could be anything. Anything that you find. Music.
Getting punched in the gut, maybe.
Yeah, like punches in the gut, what have you. All right. Sorry, apologies to stream for me futzing around. I had to get the sound figured out, but now we're good. We should be.
While we are futzing, can you do me a favor, Tony?
Oh my God, no! I'm far enough away. I'm fine. I'm far enough away from the microphone.
No, that's not what it is. I promise.
Okay.
So
good.
Go and click on the overlay and hit the up arrow twice.
up arrow.
I can see the top of like the Discord cameras. It's like just barely the overlay has moved down somehow. That's all.
Oh,
But it's like I can't stop looking at it. So
there. How's that?
perfect.
Please,
Hey!
please make
Hey!
Kaylee's OCD feel better.
Perfect.
You know what?
It's
You know what,
perfect.
folks? We are a legitimate stream. We are legitimate with legitimate things and a production crew. And by production, this is the production crew. It's me. I'm the production crew.
Self-produced.
Yes. Yeah. And finally, the last thing we want to shamelessly plug about ourselves is our YouTube, which we've been talking about for months. But Kaylee, why don't you finally fill the folks in on the progress we've made thus far?
I hate to speak for Dee because she is making such amazing progress, but my little baby, Osiria, is making its way up to YouTube right now. The episodes are being trimmed up. We had a little bit of connectivity issues in the beginning, so Dee is doing her best with that. And we are putting all of those up for your viewing pleasure on our YouTube. Please go check it out. We'll be doing the same thing with Starhel. We'll keep our non-campaign streams on separate playlists and things like that. So give us a follow over there. Help us boost the algorithm, and so we can get more out to the world.
Yep.
Also, leave a like and a comment on the video because that helps.
Yeah, likes and comments are awesome as well.
Like and
sharing.
subscribe.
Comments.
So I think
Also,
we
a
now.
lot of the stuff that goes on TikTok also goes on YouTube Shorts too. So
Were you going
for
New England for a
Amazon.
second?
for content.
Did you go New England for a
You bet.
second? TikTok?
She
I
did.
No TikTok.
TikTok.
TikTok. I getting over.
Get down to the harbor and watch your
so
TikToks.
I'm not always sure what I'm saying.
Yeah.
YouTube
Realized what
Shorts.
was wrong with this.
A lot of the stuff is going over there. So
Yeah,
make
there
sure
you
you
go.
check that out too.
Exciting stuff. And I think the most important thing we need to realize about the YouTube growth is we need our like and subscribe hype guy, which I totally nominate Bill for him to be the person at the end of the video or the beginning that's like, make sure you like and subscribe. Here we
Like and
go.
Subscribe. Click the thing below.
So, Tony, there's actually one more small problem with the overlay.
Ah, what?
Oh, yeah.
It's the Osiria character cards. It's
What,
like
you mean
Astrid, and
you mean
I'm like, wait,
Astrid
why
isn't
is
in this?
Ramasha there?
I haven't done Astrid's accent in a really long time. I can't do Astrid today. I'm sorry.
Hey, hang tight, folks.
Professional streamers.
We gotta do some elevator music. Do 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 do. You gotta do the boo 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 in the background.
Okay. I was gonna do bass.
Hey,
Okay.
hey, hey. What?
Someone better clip our song.
Oh my god. I can't.
There you go.
Yay.
One day.
Perfect.
One day. This is the first time. I mean, to be fair, this is the first time we've been down a person since we restarted Starhel. So
Yep,
true.
we got it.
we've had to
We're good.
work on the fly, which we thought we had figured out, but apparently we didn't. So Astrid, you ready to hop in, right?
No.
And then hold on, let me shoot Kaylee my notes for DMing real quick. Here you go.
Yep, I am no longer. Yep, and you better be practicing. Let's see what would you all do in Starhel? See Roland in
Astrid would
Starhel.
just be
All
a
right.
barmaid.
That's it.
Yeah.
I guess
Yeah.
I'm gonna take over as you are walking down the road. You also see a wyvern flying by with a dwarf hanging out of
Ask
it.
me about.
I'm gonna get you.
This isn't how it went last time. Okay.
Anyway, I promise. That's it. I promise.
I promise until I start until that, which is gonna happen in like an hour, and then we'll stop. Be good.
It's funny that that's what he thought I was gonna say the first time.
I
Ooh,
did.
we could-
I did. Because I've been.
We can
I've
put up
been-
a.
Yeah, so Clancy is here, just not on camera. Connectivity issues. It's safer connection just to be on audio. So we've got his character card beside me.
Yeah. So the picture of Clancy, just imagine that being, Clancy. Imagine that picture talking and moving and stabbing and casting spells and intimidating people.
Stabbing.
He
Hey,
stabbed.
he deserved it. He was being cocky.
Look, like I said, when you players love two types of NPCs, either the big, jolly, lovable, or the grump. And so far, they've encountered both of them, and both of them they seem to have had a good time with. So, well, except for Flynn. Flynn might
Which
not.
dice are going to behave tonight? All right, I think we're finally ready for a little bit of a catch us up to where we were. ODM extraordinaire.
You got it. Oh, extraordinaire. Jeez, Louise. No pressure. Alright, so, last we left our party, they were picking up the pieces after the horrific and unexpected attack during a parade celebrating the anniversary of the revolution. There were investigations done, there were unexpected bodies found, there was consoling done. Kira and Morag went to go question, I guess is the best way to put it, Governor Strong, get some questions answered, did some investigating to see if there was any magical aura, magical presence in his office, and entertained a child and made a friend along the way. So the party concluded that the cause of the attack that caused these moving statues to come alive and attack people was the result of the animate object spell, which, doing some quick math, made them realize that they had to be dealing with some pretty powerful sorcerers or magic users. We don't know if it's sorcerers or wizards, magic users that up and disappeared. So we left off the party as they were going to be making their way towards Commander Icewind's office at the garrison to tell him what they found, try to get some more information. I think that about does it, unless the players have anything else that I missed.
I think it sounds good. You also said we got a quick short rest while we were chatting. I don't know if you said that on stream yet.
I did not. So the party does get the benefits of a short rest while they were talking to Pover, the gnomish sorcerer, and he was doing his investigations. That was long enough to warrant a short rest. So benefits of a short rest, for those that don't know, can include using a hit dice, which is a standard D6, to get some health points back. Some magic users can get spell slots back.
The hit dice is your hit dice.
Yes.
Yeah, the hit dice depends on your class.
Oh, so it's out a D6 for everyone?
It's like, well, no, yeah. So basically, like, I have 7d8 hit dice. And so on a short rest, I can roll up to half of those d8s and gain that many hit points back.
There we go. All right. So anyway,
I think mine's a D8 as well.
it's a way to get yourself some health back without using spells or potions. If you can't get the opportunity to sleep or get a long rest in.
I think Morag was the only other one that took damage, right?
Yeah, and she took a healing potion.
Oh, did you?
No, I don't think you did. Brendan, I don't think you did.
No, I said D was the main one that took damage.
Yeah, Dean, and I took a little bit, but I already healed too, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I think I took damage from something, but I don't know what.
Wow.
Did you fall or get bonked by something? Was that it? I think it was something like silly.
It was something
or
silly.
it was Morag. Maybe it was Morag.
Maybe I was getting zapped by Morag.
Might have been getting zapped by Morag.
Might have been. Yeah, Morag, but she got a healing potion, and she got Cure Wounds cast on her by Pover.
Yeah.
When they're at, so she's still has a little bit of healing she still needs to do, but for the most part, she's fine.
Perfect. Yeah, me too. I'm not gonna use any hit dice because I'm almost full. So.
Yeah. So so get some healing back. Some magic users get spell slots back. Yep. Some other classes get some of their abilities refreshed back, like monks with their key points, stuff like that.
Using a dice to keep track of it, it's easier that way.
All right. So, all right. So, without any further ado, at this point, let's go. So, you guys are on your way to the garrison to go talk to Icewind. The streets at this point have pretty much cleared up. There's still some stragglers that are, kind of talking about what happened. at this point, the only thing that's left in the main square is the is the Atlas, and then the wreckage that was the dragon. You guys do walk by the store that Kira you noticed when you were on the roof that had the giant boulder crashed into it. Your investigation from the roof saw that it looked like they weren't pulling bodies out or anything, but this boulder was the size of the storefront, so the store is completely destroyed. Or restaurant, I'm sorry. It was a
Damage.
restaurant.
Yeah, it was a restaurant. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Um,
what time is it right now?
it is. Let's see. The parade started around at 8 o'clock. So let's say it's like 11 o'clock-ish at this point, 11:30. So creeping on lunchtime.
Very hungry halflings.
Oh,
Oh, we lost Brennan.
and we're back.
Now he's
Okay.
back.
He's back. All right, so let's. I guess let's go talk to Icewind, and then we can get some lunch afterwards. Hopefully, if anybody's open.
I mean, munching my
Well, I
rations
think-
on the run.
I think the garrison cafeteria will probably be open.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
stuff's a waffle in my face.
Yeah, I mean, I think even in
I've got a
emergencies they'd be
few more.
cooking.
Yeah.
Well,
and-
the guard needs to eat.
Yeah, and you guys do notice that with the parade and all the activities, a lot of the stores and restaurant on the square were closed anyway. But it just seems like not only closed, but now the square is completely cleared out because of the events that happened. So, it's kind of a solemn. It's a solemn march or solemn walk to the garrison at this point. Minimal activity. A lot of people some people still just kind of in a daze as they're walking around. Maybe
on
walking
high
back to the
alert.
house. Yeah.
Same. Looking for any cloaked figures, ponchoed figures.
Ponchoed.
Or statues that might come to life.
That too.
Yeah, this is new territory for everybody. So
Hey, quick interruption. The power is turned back on apparently.
Awesome. So you might switch devices.
Yeah, I'm gonna go switch
Okay.
my computer.
Okay. All right.
After that.
Let us know when you get back there, and then we can take a quick BRB just to get you switched over and set up. So,
Gotcha.
all right.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh,
All right. Well, I guess we'll
Yeah.
do this now.
yeah, just move Bill.
So we'll just do a quick BRB while we get technical stuff squared away. So BRB.
Cockney rhyming speak, so I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to
yes.
respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frogs and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
Very second.
Now I want to hear
Literally.
that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay.
Yeah.
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah. You got to perform, but outside of that,
absolutely. My inspo makes all the rolls less hard, and you all can thank this bard. And you're damn right. I pulled that card, and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Love it.
Woo!
A round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
And
Y'all were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" So
Yeah.
21.
That's fair. Jesus.
Huh.
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
This little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge
you're, like,
things that you don't
literally
know about.
Like,
That needs to be clipped.
Good job.
y'all.
Or multi-classing to tie into your character development. Oh, we lost Bill. Oh, now he's back. To tie into your character development and to tie into the story that's happening that you may or may not have control over. Like, the stuff that happened that made that happen was more...
And that's perfect.
Ever.
completely off the rails. That's amazing. I love it. That's
Hashtag new profile pic. Art.
Alright, so
Those are fighting words.
are we showing Dominic to your room or going out for dinner? And
Yeah,
then...
show me to your room, Caddy.
Caddy Daddy.
Wow. Wow. Glad it wasn't me
What
this
just
time.
happened?
I'm innocent. I'm innocent this time.
I
Not
told
me.
you I'm sleep deprived.
And he's out of earshot at this point.
I'm just gonna yell back, thank you! Bye!
Bang bang!
With my gauntlets. I'm not petty at all.
Nope. Not at all. Why don't you go on and head down to my office? I got some I want to discuss with you, just to, clear up timelines and whatnot. Duncan's like,
I don't like that.
Duncan's like, yeah, sure. I mean, makes sense. I was gone for a while, and I show up without it. Yeah, so it makes sense. Deviant's like, I appreciate that. Gives him a pat on the back.
Yeah, the music sounds great, but I can't hear you at all. Oh, there it is.
So that was pro.
Oh no, so they
right
didn't hear the
Pro
Yeah.
strip!
Professional streamer.
absolutely professional.
Yeah.
That is what we do.
I want to do this for real when I grow up.
Cockney rhyming speak, so I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been half-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frogs and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
Very
Now I want to hear
Literally.
that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah. You got to perform, but outside of that, yeah.
Absolutely. My inspo makes all the rolls less hard, and you all can thank this bard, and you're damn right. I pulled that card and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Love it.
Woo!
A round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand. Go. Hey, look! Clancy can move now. He's not just a picture.
Hey.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy.
I'm a real boy. All right, welcome back. Technical issues sorted. Yes, we now have a living, breathing, moving Clancy now. So, yay for that. So, picking up where we left off. You guys are making your way to
Downtown. I had to do that for D.
There it is. Yep. There we go. So you guys are making your way through the city streets. Like I said, it's very somber. Not a lot of activity going on. And what activity is going on is either people, kind of walking sort of in a daze, or it's soldiers that are marching to either help with clearing out the city square, or on their way to like maybe do a follow-up investigation, maybe do some security around the city walls and stuff like that. Because you definitely feel a tension in the air as you make your way to the garrison.
Yeah, and Kira and Jen are both on high alert.
Yeah. Are you guys trusting your passive, or are you guys actively looking around?
I'll trust my passive.
I need to be active.
I have 19.
I would be active as well.
Yeah, 19. I figured you would be. Yeah, so Kira and
I see.
Jen, you know what to do?
Yep. I got a dirty 20.
Woo! Dirty 20.
Ooh.
I got a 19.
19. So, yeah, like I said, you guys aren't perceiving any more threats or any dangers. Like I said, you're just more and, you guys notice, especially you, Jen, you notice anytime you see soldiers passing you on the streets, there's a look of like, we've never experienced something like this before. This is hitting us pretty hard. Like, trying to stay cool, but inside, like, there's cues of like, this is a little bit beyond, not panic, but a little bit of like, this is beyond our pay grade. Like this, a little bit of this isn't what I signed up for, but a lot of like, we've never experienced this before, and this is scary.
It's getting real. Yeah, gotcha.
There you go. All right, so you guys make your way to the garrison. You get up to the front desk, and you see a familiar face at the front desk that greets you as you walk in. It is Ty, the overexuberant guard that loves stories. Normally he's very cheerful and very excited, especially if, the first time you met him, a while ago. And the few times you interacted with him since then, but today he's very much like, hey guys, good to see you're okay.
You okay, Ty?
Yeah, I was posted somewhere else. I wasn't there for that. Definitely seemed like it shook up a lot of people, besides the ones that, obviously got hurt or...
Sure did.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Guessing you want to go talk to the Icewind about something?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's in his office. I think he was on some kind of phone call, or he was like on a sending stone.
What's a phone?
What's a phone?
A divination session.
He had the sending stone out. Was talking to some of the other garrison commanders around the country. So, not sure what kind of mood he'll be in, but just.
Wow,
yeah.
That's kind of.
He told us to come see him, so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's good. But yeah, you know where it is at this point, so just going back.
Don't forget to get lunch, Ty.
I won't, and good to see you guys safe.
Absolutely.
Thanks,
Me too.
Ty.
And Morag sitting here, Morag kind of looks at herself and is kind of like, I'm kind of okay, I guess. I'm not gonna do the accent because I would do it terrible. I was practicing.
Covered in blood. It's just.
Yeah. Well, no, the blood's mostly dried up, but it's like she's still pretty heavily bruised. I was practicing her accent all day, and I came to the conclusion that I'm not going to do it. So.
Now I want to hear it more because.
Yeah.
No.
I tried.
Listen. All right. That's bad.
Yeah,
Pretty
there you
good.
go.
I like
All I got was
There you go.
listen. All I got was listen, and that's more D than Morag, I feel like, so.
Spectacular.
Shout out to Morag. Love you. So,
Miss you.
miss you. So you guys make your way back. The door to his office is closed. And as you get closer to the door, you don't hear shouting or yelling, but you definitely hear like a muffled voice, like, it seems like he's talking.
Like Charlie Brown when the parents are talking.
Kind of. I mean, if you guys wanted to do like an insight or an investigation, try to listen in before you get in there, you can do that.
I was gonna say try to listen to see how intense, if it's gonna sound like it's okay to interrupt.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight if you want.
All right, I'm gonna do this.
Yeah, you
Where's
can do it.
inside?
Yeah, and anybody can roll an insight. I imagine everybody's like, it's like
Yeah, sure, why
it's like the sitcom thing where everybody's stacked on top of each other.
Yeah, 3 halflings stacked on top of each other.
I get a 10.
Natural 20.
Hey!
For a total
I
of
got-
23.
Was
Nice.
this insight?
Yes.
I got 14.
I was so close to 20. I got 14 as well.
Kira, she's got the ears tonight.
She's got the ears
I
tonight.
know. Never like something that I really want. It's always something that's like, meh.
Helpful, but yeah, I get it.
This is
So-
the dice we're rolling with today.
Ooh,
It's
very
rolling
colorful.
well.
Very colorful.
Mhm. It's Kira's dice.
Ooh.
Shout out to Kira's dice.
Here's dice.
So, Kira, you listen in very intently. Obviously, your years of experience with doing stuff like this, your ears are finely tuned to having to pick up, conversations behind doors and walls and whatnot. You definitely get the feel that it's a very informational conversation, like short, terse answers. A lot of yeah, yes, okay, how many? We had this many. Stuff like that.
Okay.
So safe to knock?
We'll find out.
Yeah, as I say, it's up to you guys.
I imagine Flynn just barges in, like, hey.
Well, I'm waiting on a cue from Kira, since she's the one that was able to hear.
Yeah, Moray goes in and be like, do you think it'll be alright if we go in?
There you go.
I practiced a little bit. It's gonna be very
I like
short. It'll be very short.
Kira's just gonna knock like quietly, not like pound, but like quiet knocking, just to see if there's any reaction. If he answers, then I think we can go in, but otherwise we probably should wait till he's done talking.
So a real knock, like a pound, instead of like a "I need your attention right
No,
now"
just-
kind of thing.
Just like a
Yeah, just like a quiet,
a polite
hey,
rap.
there's someone here for you.
A polite rap.
A polite knock.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you knock, 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 and you hear him say, it'll just be another moment or two. And you kind of go back to hearing that, like, muffled, similar conversation you heard before.
It's just, I think it's business, and I'm sure we'll get the rundown in a minute or two. I don't think we should
Pull out a-
interrupt.
Waffle.
Pull out a ration or a waffle and just lean against the wall.
Yeah. Alright, so after a couple minutes of you guys just, munching and kind of gathering your thoughts and preparing your questions you have in your head or whatnot, you do hear finally a, yes, you may come in.
We go in.
Alright,
Yep,
so you
in we
see...
go.
Alright, so you see, normally, when you go into Icewind's office, his desk is very neatly organized, and he has a, very calm, stern demeanor. He's still carrying that demeanor, but noticeable concern on his face. And all across his desk is various pieces of paper, pieces of parchment. Some have some writing on it. Some are just like, half filled in. Some are fully filled in. And they're just kind of like, not like strewn all over the place, like on the floor or whatnot, but it's definitely like like he was grabbing a piece of paper, writing something down, and then grabbing another piece of paper to write something different down, stuff like that.
Controlled chaos.
Yeah. So he says, "Oh, thank you. I'm glad you finally found the time. I'm glad you were able to find the time to stop by. So, please have a seat." And he gestures to the chairs that you guys are all too familiar with at this point. So
I'll lay on the couch in my normal spot.
So he says, "So, I guess I'll start." Since you folks were obviously there firsthand, and then helped out. I heard you helped out some of the soldiers with investigations and stuff like that. So obviously, it's very much appreciated. So I'll start, I guess, with what I've gathered, and then you folks kind of fill in what you can or what you found out, and we'll see if maybe put some pieces together. So he says, "I don't know if you were aware, but we were not the only city to be having a similar type celebrations as today."
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were wondering if they had similar attacks.
Yes. So we do have confirmed attacks during the parades at Boros, Osing, Waynon, and Pastrinos. Very similar circumstances where the artificers, moving statues seem to, come alive and, have, take out, and start attacking the citizens. And you guys notice that Morag does flinch a bit at this. He says,
Would be able to stop them in the other cities?
Yes. Luckily, there were, there was enough of a presence because of similar to how we were set up, there was enough of a presence there that they were stopped. Most of the attacks were stopped before major damage was done everywhere except for Boros. Speaking with the Boros garrison commander, it sounds like that they definitely had the worst of it. There were multiple shops that were destroyed, and they said they're still cleaning up even at this time after it's been a few hours. But he said the report is a couple dozen people killed, mostly civilians, a couple soldiers. Yeah.
Which other places? I heard Boros. What other
Boros,
places?
Osing, Waynon, and Pastrinos.
Osing, Waynon, and Pastrinos. Yep.
Osing. I keep thinking that's an E. Osing.
Yeah, it's a G.
Waynon and
wow.
Pastrinos. So all of the towns that also add those moving statues as part of their parade.
Yeah.
Every single one that had them?
Yeah, there were only the
according to what we found out from the mayor. The mayor said those were the only other towns that had.
You went
the
and
same
spoke
sort
with Governor Strong? How did he? How did he seem?
He was a bit shook, to be honest. I'm not surprised, but he did mention that those were the only other towns that had similar arrangements with the Inventors Guild. So it's kind of like, of the other towns, it's kind of not surprising if that seems to be a tied-in piece.
So did other towns have celebrations, but just not contributions from the Inventors Guild?
Yes.
And they didn't have any problems.
Yeah, I don't know if the if Governor Strong filled you in, but the offer was extended to all of the major cities in Furan, but not everyone took it up for a myriad of reasons.
But there haven't been reports of any issues in anywhere that didn't have the statues.
Well, you mentioned that. The garrison commanders at Moore and Eden also reported that there were assassination attempts done at the governors and on themselves.
Oh, wow.
Luckily, it seemed like everybody made it out okay. But the fact that they seem to happen at the same time that the attacks.
That was my concern.
Coordinated time. because of the timing that everything was coordinated, we believe that's connected.
I'm wondering if this is anti-revolution people.
I mean, it's would be kind of easy to say that. Obviously we're still in the first baby steps of trying to piece all this together, but that's very possible. And then there was one other thing that we're not sure if it's related, but obviously with a situation and environment like this, anything that's out of the ordinary got reported. The garrison commander at Huertazog, and you see Morag kind of sit forward for this, reported that a group of individuals coerced their way into the Transcendence. And Morag goes, "Oh, that's the hold on, lesson. That's the art gallery there, right? The big art gallery. That was terrible.
That wasn't bad.
You got the listen good. You did really good on listen.
Lesson.
Lesson.
Where's that? Oh,
It's like way
here.
on the
I found
northeastern
it.
coast.
Yeah. And he says, yeah, that's the largest art and sculpture gallery in the country. Apparently they Transcendence. Yep.
Okay.
Apparently some folks that had charm magic coerced their way in and stole some art. Not sure if it's related.
Oh.
But
Okay.
it's, something that happened at the same time as all these other attacks. It seemed.
And that place didn't have assassinations, though?
It was not. The garrison commander did not report it. No. Which,
It would be
everybody
very
was.
interesting to find out what pieces of art they stole.
Yeah. Were they Lionheart art?
Yeah. Well, the
like all statues.
Yeah.
What kind of statues? If they were statues.
Yeah. Well,
I'd have trouble understanding why they'd even attack multiple towns just for a distraction.
I don't think it was a distraction. I'm starting to think this was a message.
Yeah. The only thing about it being anti-revolution, royal loyalists, whatever you want to call them, what is the magic? There's quite a bit of magic used, and that's not really something that was.
Well, they did. They used it as they pleased against people.
That's true, I suppose. It just seemed like an awful lot of it.
Just didn't want anyone else to have it.
Especially
think about that gargoyle we fought.
Well, especially considering what Jen and I know about the roads and the major highways in here and so forth. I'm just trying to figure this out. Are all of those major cities, except for what is that? Huskazog?
Yeah, Huertazog. Yeah, they're 13. That out of game. There's 13 major cities.
Okay.
And
Tenson is not a major city.
It's on the smaller side of the major cities.
Is Moore bigger than Tenson?
Moore is bigger than Tenson, yes.
Interesting, because I was just noticing, looking at the pattern of all of these, the only two places that didn't happen within that confines of that is Oceania and Tenson, and it would just make sense that both of those. Oceania is kind of off the beaten path a little bit. That's kind of over there, but Tenson is on the way.
Is this back in character, or are you talking out loud?
I'm just looking at the map, talking out loud right now. But
right.
Flynn would be saying something similar. Just my looking at the map, this is what I'm piecing together.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm surprised Tenson didn't get anything. That's kind of on the way. I mean, it is kind of a small town, but I mean, did they not have a celebration?
Well, all of the cities had some sort of celebration. Some cities, some of the bigger cities like Waynon or Moore or Pastrinos, they went and did the big parades. Some of the smaller cities did smaller stuff, smaller parades and whatnot. Some of the cities just even did like a open market day. You know, it just, you know, where it's just like, you know, storefronts take their stores close, but they bring booths out and people can walk around and like sample food and, you know, kind of treat it like that.
That kind of sounds like something Tenson would do if it's that small of a town.
Yeah.
I've not been there during when they had one of these celebrations, you know, because I'm usually working. But yeah, a city like that, especially since it's a very tourist based and, you know, outside visitor based city, that they would want to, instead of shutting stuff down, they would want people to stay and, you know, get a feel for the city, you know, try out stuff.
For sure. They're more of a merchant town, and this is more of a opportunity to boost that. This is an extra bit of tourist season.
Yeah,
So-
and like I said, we are in the opening lines. I mean, like I said, the Commander Herharis at Huertazag is still trying to work with the staff at the Transcendence to even figure out what was stolen. They're still trying to figure that out. So
I'm just curious. Does everyone at Hortazog actually, does their name start with Hor?
Or where? Where?
Where?
What?
It's Huertazog.
Where?
Huertazog.
All right. Huertazog.
Sorry.
So
I had a
what? So what
question
did?
in
So what
character
were
when I
you?
read.
You're fine. So what were you able to find out with your investigations?
Well, we talked to the governor, who gave us the information about the Inventors Guild. And we talked a little bit to one of the operators from the Inventors Guild, who didn't really seem to be involved. One of them was killed, unfortunately, but the other one, she didn't really seem to know about it. As far as we could tell, they weren't tampered with some help from the governor's assistant, Hova. We did find out, we're pretty sure that it was a spell, Animate Object, which is like a timed spell, was probably what was used. And some of your guard actually were able to find what we think was some sort of teleportation, or something, some way that they that the people escaped.
Burn
possibly.
mark on the wall.
Oh, yep, exactly.
The garrison commanders at the other four reported something similar.
So
Go
this
ahead,
whole
Clancy.
thing.
Hold on.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Clancy.
Well, one thing I would like you to know is whoever did this had to have a very high level of magic. I mean, this isn't something you can just kind of whip up being low level. I mean, this was a group of people who were probably very experienced. Do you know of any groups or factions or rebel forces that would have a lot of magic users that would have reason to do something like this?
My question's kind of piggybacking off of that, because even before this, but now I'm more wondering, who is it that the Dragon's Claw was answering to? Who is it that's above the Dragon's Claw? Because this is definitely some powerful stuff and organized stuff happening.
Yeah.
Did you just roll a 20?
I did.
Oh.
So to your question, to your question about do we know anybody that did this? Icewind sits and thinks for a second, and he goes, well, there have been protests at a couple cities. They weren't very large. And, you know, it was nothing, there weren't any big fusses caused or anything like that. Nobody was hurt. But there were a few there have been protesters, and some of these protesters have kind of started gaining more traction over the last few months, and it's kind of in regards to people being worried about potential situations like this, like what happened today happening. I don't know of any specific protests about you know, you're letting everybody, their message has been basically you're letting anybody have access to magic. That means anybody can be a threat. Anybody can be a danger to society, kind of thing.
Oh, and so the people that are joining them are afraid of retribution from...
Yeah. I mean, obviously, we, you know, we didn't really have anything like that here. But I know some of the other cities, may have taken logs and names of people that were at these protests, but they were never large scale. Like I said, never damaged property. It was more just people sitting out front of either that city's garrison or that city's governor's estate. Just doing something that we want people to do, which is to make their voice heard.
Do you think they were just regular people scared of magic, or do you think they're more so Lionheart sympathizers? I mean, were you able to tell?
Yeah, and that's
I mean,
how much deeper does the Dragon Claw go?
Last night I would have told you it's just, people being scared of change. That's what I would have told you last night. Now today, who knows?
So that brings up the next question. With everything that happened with this, so this entire parade and so forth, we knew there was going to be an event, but we didn't know what it was going to be. This is very hush-hush. It was very secretive.
Yeah.
So obviously you had to be talking to people through, channels to be able to set this up through people. Do you have a list of everyone that was contacted through this? And there must be one contact in all of this, or one set of people in these contacts that this was the middleman. This was the person that the information was going through them, and this is how they set it up.
Yeah.
So we got a little bit of that from the governor. He said that the head of the Inventors Guild helped provide people, essentially, to do these moving statues. And there was an application process, and he provided the applicants. So, and it seemed like everything went from between him and the governor, from what I could tell, unless you have different information, Icewind.
Well, it's more about who knew what the plans for the parade were is the question, because we did narrow it down to, it doesn't seem like it was the people that were manning the statues that were the problem.
No, I don't think it had anything to do with them.
Yeah. And Icewind goes, myself and Governor Strong reviewed the applications that were provided by Mr. Roundrock. We ran through. Every governor and every garrison commander that went forward with this would have reviewed the same list of applicants. We would have all checked our own personal arrest records, as well as arrest records of anybody else of any other city. And there were obviously a few names that were eliminated because they had prior arrests for this, that, or the other thing. But it's not like it's not like it was kept as a state secret. It was more as like you did have to speak with Governor Strong on it, but I would say for myself, it was more like kind of didn't want the surprise ruined kind of thing, which, now in retrospect, maybe it's okay to let the surprise be ruined a bit, so that way we could have, beefed up security.
Well, it's more so just
who all...
Go ahead.
Who all knew that there were going to be something like this? Not necessarily moving statues per se, but something from the Inventors Guild would be part of the parade.
Every governor and every garrison commander, and then Mr. Roundrock at the Inventors Guild, and then whoever, the Inventors Guild, and then whoever he may have shared it with.
So I think that's where the problem lies. Is somewhere that he talked to someone or something.
So, but did they arrive covered up in canvas until essentially the parade started? They were not small, so...
Yeah. No, they were...
I'm wondering, who else might have, I guess, I don't know.
They just had to know there was going to, what the parade itinerary was. Yeah, it's not that they needed to know who was in the float. They needed to know the parade itineraries.
Yeah, that's it. It's not that they were directly involved with the float. It's just a matter of that they knew that there was going to be something.
Guild that they could do something with.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Well,
So
well,
it
the
didn't
first-
necessarily
Jen's not
mean
even-
there was going to be moving statues of XYZ.
Yeah.
yeah.
Jen
Okay.
even convinced that it's necessarily someone from within the Inventors Guild. Like,
No.
Jen's considering if it's maybe one of the governors or the garrison commanders, because I think it's just because we skipped, but I'm questioning, like, where the connections, like, the Dragon's Claw seems like it must have been Small Potatoes. Connection like that is more what I'm thinking is happening.
Right.
I think it
Um,
honestly could be even.
Well, we know there's some. Okay, just like out of character game, whatever. I have to go back and look through my notes. But didn't we hear a rumor about a larger group that there's like rumors of some
what I'm trying to
larger group
clarify
that's
with
connecting
Icewind.
all of these smaller groups? I
Yeah,
don't
that's what I was
think
trying to ask
knows.
Icewind. Oh, well, he was the one we were supposed to talk to about it, I thought, so.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think it was about this specifically.
Out
but-
of
I
the
mean-
game.
Sorry,
Okay.
go ahead.
No, it's all right. Out of game, there was Icewind had heard rumors about a larger group.
That's what Jen has been trying to ask.
Yeah. That's fine.
So was
Um,
Icewind the one who told us that there are rumors?
That you'd have to double check the notes on because I don't
I'd
know
have
if
to
it
go
was
back and
him
look
that
at those.
mentioned it or if it was like guard conversation.
I think it was
I
him.
probably would have been Icewind, I would think, because
I'm
you guys
pretty
didn't
sure
have
we
a lot
talked
of
to him last time.
yeah. I'm pretty sure you guys didn't have any in-depth conversations like that with any of the guards.
No.
But
But
anyway,
either way, like because the protests would be encouraged by a group. If it's not a local version of the Dragon's Claw in every other city, which if it was, it wouldn't have happened here. It's got to be some larger, connected, more webbed group.
Yeah.
Whether it's the Lion Hearts themselves or some other
right.
face between them.
Right. Yeah, and kind of to your point, asking about like how Kira, you had asked about like the wagons and all that. Icewind does say that the wagons on their way were covered. Hi. Get out of here, Goofus.
She got her wave.
It's my daughter, ladies and gentlemen. So Icewind does say, well, when they arrived here, the wagons were covered up. Now, obviously, it's a long way from, I believe these two were from Baroni. The two were from the Inventors Guild office in Baroni. I'd have to look back. This is Icewind talking. I'd have to look back at their applications to make sure. It's been bombarded with names and cities and information all morning, so you have to apologize.
Understandable.
Wow, they went a long ways.
Yeah. So.
It was Icewind, by the way, who told us that rumor.
Yeah. Okay. So.
And I remembered wanting to question him more about that, but then we had the parade and stuff, so.
Yeah. So yeah. So he says like to that point. To the second point about like the itinerary and stuff like that. Because the Icewind does say, well, because the guards, we needed to figure out guard schedule and stuff like that. They had access. Every guard had access to the itinerary.
Oof, that shoots it up out of the water. That's anybody then.
Yeah, and then finally, to your point, Jen, he kind of says, well, and this definitely does lead credence to those rumors that we'd spoken about, a week or so ago. You hear stuff like that and you always just think it's, somebody getting a little bit too anxious at a bar, a couple ales in and shooting their mouth about something that you don't think, has any weight. But, that changes.
Hope only gets you so far.
Yeah, that changes my perspective and, frankly, all the garrison commanders' perspective and everyone across Starhel at this point. So now there's a bigger concern that those protests, those calm, quiet protests, not quiet, but, calm, civil protests from the last couple months in some of those cities are now going to ramp up. We've already started talking about how this may push some people more into that direction. So,
can I insight check to see if Icewind seems dodgy or just stressed?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay.
Well, you can tell them, anybody here anyway, that we would not have been able to stop those creatures without magic.
Mm-hmm.
In addition
Exactly.
to that,
And your gods, I hate to say it, would not very much help.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
except for the one.
yeah,
The brave one.
yeah,
yeah.
Your
Well,
sergeant
we're,
there.
Except for the
Yeah.
one.
yeah,
Sarge.
Sergeant
I already forgot
Sergeant
his name.
Bitteraxe. Sergeant Bitteraxe.
He's a good egg.
Yeah, he's one of the ones I lean on. And yes, the response
Yeah,
from the
it would have
soldiers.
been helpful to actually have more magic users in your gods, in your god
Yeah.
roster.
No, I see the value in that for sure. But I will say, to defend my men, my soldiers, they should not have turned tail. They should have stood their ground. But a lot of these troops, a lot of these soldiers are, kids
Greenbacks.
kids in their 20s that signed up to get, decent pay, a roof over their head, and to, occasionally break up a bar fight when somebody gets too rowdy. This is a little bit beyond. Now, Bitteraxe, luckily
Today was when it
Bitteraxe,
got real.
yeah, Bitteraxe is an experienced soldier. He was around during the Revolution, so, he
Yeah, I was just
knows,
gonna say
he
these are all
has a
kids
sense
that
of things. He has a sense
Weren't
of
here during
things,
the
but
revolution. Yeah.
but a lot of these, a lot of my troops, and I'm sure a lot of the other garrison commanders can speak to theirs, never seen anything like this. And frankly, I hadn't seen anything close to this since the revolution. So,
Well, if I can make a suggestion,
12,
since I'm
12 on your insight.
Yeah.
He's seems stressed because he's trying to normally dealing with peaceful, minor stuff. This is the first time you get the sense first time in a long time he's had to deal with a major issue in the city, and now that he's finding out that it's a major issue across the country, it's compounding things. So
Yeah.
that's why he acted calm. He acted in a calm, forceful manner in the morning when he first arrived on the scene and was getting stuff cleared out and figuring out what was going on. And now that he's had these
Now the
conversations,
adrenaline is worn off. Yeah.
yeah, and he's had these conversations. I was like, yeah, that happened to us. Yeah, that happened to us. Yeah, our all this stuff. He just seems weight of the world kind of thing. So
Yeah. Okay.
so at this point, Moray kind of pops up and she says, did you when you were reviewing the applications, did you get the sense that any of the people that applied from the Inventors Guild were perhaps maybe of this like mind, where they had similar to these protesters and whatnot? Icewind says, I mean, when I looked at, nothing jumped out to me. Obviously the ones that we eliminated were, felons, people that had done some, minor to major stuff, but, we didn't want anybody even with minor stuff representing our city during this, time. And we only really interviewed, we didn't even really interview anybody besides the folks that were coming to our place. And I got the sense that the two that were coming here were good, upstanding folks. So,
Well, if I can make a suggestion, not to do your job or tell you how to do your job, but more like just give you like a little suggestion, I'm
Not to
kind
be
of
a bitch, bud.
I'm a pretty, I'm a people person. I know people pretty well, and one of the things that I tend to do is trying to alter people's perspective on something that's happened, just kind of turn their heads a little bit and have them look at it in a different light. So especially with this whole protest that you think is going to be happening, so maybe you could look at it as, just start some information campaigns going out there that,
About the
like
benefits
Kira
of
had
magic.
said, without magic, we would not be able to defend against that. In addition to, these are people who want to get rid of magic,
I think you're on the right track, Flynn, but I don't think more fear is going to help. I think you're right with information going
Information
out
is the way to
about
go.
how magic is beneficial and can be helpful when used right. But yeah, I think you're on the right track.
In addition, something I've seen, not that I know much about, like, the internal affairs of the police department or the guard or anything, but, you know, I've seen it in some of the other places we've been for, that they have someone that can go around and just kind of keep tabs, and it's not that they mistrust their guards, but there's sometimes someone that slips into the ranks.
Audits.
Yeah. What she said.
I mean, do you have audits of your staff?
Yearly. You know, maybe I might be bumping that up to quarterly at this point.
Well, not necessarily an
Just
audit.
check-ins. I mean, it's an audit, but you can phase it as, or have it face value as a check-in. Have people checking in on the opinions of your guards for sure, because then you'll know who needs to be maybe watched a little more, and that should be happening elsewhere as well.
Yeah, but you know as well as I do that when it comes to people that, hey, like, I need to know your opinion on this, you're going to give them whatever answer they want. Versus when they're in a bar and this one guy that's in there that, kind of like if Sarge were to kind of go in and listen in on the conversation.
They need spies.
Internal affairs.
And at that, he kind of stops you and goes, "The Lionheart family used to plant people all the time, and if they even got a hint, and even if they even got a hint of someone that may be treacherous to the crown, they hauled them off, and most times they were never seen again. So I can't speak for every garrison commander and every governor, but we try to keep ourselves as open and upfront with the people as possible."
Yeah, but definitely more check-ins of opinions and where people are at would be more appropriate.
One thing, as far as especially with our other person there, who she's just lost her cousin in this crazy attack, is there any kind of government assistance that could be aided to her and the others' families of the deceased? I imagine some of them are low income and they might not be able to do funerals as easily.
Yeah, we
Oh yeah. Well, and that whole restaurant that was destroyed, I hope they get some sort of compensation.
Right. Yeah. That obviously affairs like that's more Governor Strong's territory. We're gonna go in and help them at least clean up and get rebuilt. In terms of, making sure compensation is handed out, financial aid, state assistance, city assistance, that would be something that we've done in small amounts, but in similar circumstances before. I know one thing Governor Strong has taken a pretty big stance on is, community support. So,
Flynn, you could do a benefit concert.
We could raise some money for the people.
I appreciate that. I think that's a very good idea. I really would like to figure out what's going on, though. Like, where this attack, where it originated.
Try to keep him busy.
It's got fair. It's got. I mean, there's got to be a common source, right? If these were all coordinated across the whole country, that's an amazing amount of resource.
That's my thought.
But that also means that someone had to know exactly where all of these, which cities had these statues, which cities didn't, and coordinate it all at once.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yeah.
Do you and the other commanders have any direction for investigation as far as that goes?
Well,
what's your next steps?
Well, obviously there's a few different directions we would go. Obviously we would start with the Inventors Guild. And Morag goes, well, right. I thought that you, didn't think that the Inventors Guild was going to be a problem because of what you'd said. And Icewind says, yeah, with the applicants we reviewed. That rules out a small percentage of the members of the Inventors Guild. And, all that.
I'm gonna put a hand on Morag's hip and be like, I'm sure the Inventors Guild has nothing to worry about, and they'll be able to help.
Right, absolutely.
Doesn't mean there's not bad apples.
That was really good, actually, Tony.
Yeah, you're doing great, Tony.
Thank you. I try. I'm trying to keep it short. No monologues from Morag. No monologues from Morag tonight. He said, we also would probably send researchers to Osing because of the historical manuscripts and the history there. Maybe trying to look up anything, record keeping, whatnot. We would also probably check in with Pastrinos since, that's the College of the Mystics is there, So you would
I'm
think
going to point my finger at Kira, and I'm just going to say in her head, you don't think this has anything to do with Tattoo Face, do you?
I can send back that, right?
Yes.
I can think back at you. Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna think back. I hope not, but I wouldn't rule it out. Magic users in the Thieves Guild, and it doesn't mean that Thieves Guild members can't go rogue.
I think depending on
D&D pun. Hold on. That's a knee slapper, folks.
I'm here all week.
I would wonder if you have information on the protests, like where some of the ones that were gaining traction were, maybe if we could start looking into that, or at least if you could help us get some information on contacts for that, because I feel like the protests are definitely going to at least have some, like, even if those protests are not connected to whoever's behind this, those people would definitely sympathize with them. So there's got to be some sort of easy way, like those people would be able to flow in and out of those groups.
Right. And that's something that I am due. We had to, we were trying to keep this conversation amongst our sending stone. And you see on the desk a large, like, rectangular box that you feel like that was never there before. So you feel like it's only taken out in certain instances, certain circumstances. This rectangular box, and in it is this giant gem, like probably about...
this is an extra magic sending stone.
Yeah. Well, it's...
I was going to ask you if he had multiple of them. That was the nerd in me, the rules nerd in me.
No,
but it's cool. I love hearing that it's this giant.
Yeah, it's like this big one, which basically would enable you to have multiple people conversing at the same time.
Cool! It's a conference call! That's amazing!
Conference call sending stone.
That's awesome.
Get out of here.
Yeah, because like I said, the rules nerd in me was thinking, like, because with a sending stone, it's only between two stones. So, like, I was thinking the garrison commanders would have, like, a stone between each city that they can... But I love that they can just talk together. I love it. That's so cool.
Yeah.
It's like the council in Star Wars.
Imagine one guy running really fast between cities.
Yeah.
What are you gonna say? Okay.
Yeah. So and it's red right now. The stone is red right now.
Sorry.
Whoa.
Y'all having a rave in there?
Sorry, hold on a second. Sorry, I pushed a button and it changed. Okay.
All right.
My bad.
So yeah. So he said we had to keep this conversation kind of like, what do you know right now? and then we're going to reconvene. We're giving the garrison commanders time to, kind of reevaluate, look to their cities, and then we were going to have another follow-up, conversation as a group tomorrow. And I still need to fill in Governor Strong about everything that we talked about. Me and the other garrison commanders and I. So.
No, while we're at it, you said that there were assassination attempts.
In the
Just
other
attempts?
cities, yeah.
Or were they completed? Was anyone assassinated? Did you capture anybody?
Regrettably, no one was captured. I believe at the assassination attempt in Moore, the governor's aide was killed, but the governor was able to make it out okay. But other than that, all the governors and garrison commanders at those two cities were fine and accounted for. They were very, they moved very quickly in and out of shadows, seemed to be there and then be gone. We have theories that it might be the Thieves Guild, but the Thieves Guild, we've never seen them attempt government leaders before. Like, they take out.
Oh, maybe.
I don't know if anybody's familiar with the Thieves Guild, but they tend to have contracts on, business leaders, leaders of other guilds and groups, stuff like that.
A thing or two, and I would think it would depend on the contract. If they were given enough money, potentially,
Oh, well,
I'd see maybe someone would take that on.
I mean, unless they outsourced it, I don't think they'd have that many magic users to pull something like this off.
Well, but if there was, so here's what I'm thinking: if there was a group that was coordinating all of this, that had the magic users, but they outsourced the assassinations to the Thieves Guild. If they took out a contract with the Thieves Guild, it would have to be a pretty high one to do governors and commanders, because those are pretty highly guarded. I mean, not that I would know anything about that, but I would.
And the heists too.
Roll a deception check.
It would be. Now, I'm not actually an assassin, though. I was a thief, not an assassin.
No, but.
I mean, you still might know. You might have heard
that little comment.
I definitely know. I mean, I was friends with assassins, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Deception?
Deception, yeah.
10.
Ooh,
he looks at you and goes, well, I guess it's important to be knowledgeable about things, even if you're not familiar with them or a part of them.
Exactly.
Out of character, Tony, I know you've had a couple interruptions. Would it be best to take a break?
Sure. Is there any other last minute questions you guys want to ask right now at this point?
Maybe we should hit more next, so maybe we can find out more.
I mean, unless he has specific things he wants us to look into.
No, I mean, at this point, he's like, I mean, I have my follow-up conversation with the other garrison commanders tomorrow morning. I've got to finish.
Maybe after that.
Yeah, and he looks across his paper. He says, I've got to figure this out and then report over to Governor Strong with what I found and figure out what the next course of action for the city is. So,
well,
we'll come up with something.
At least we can maybe listen in a bit and get a feel what the town's thinking and report back tomorrow.
Yeah.
Sure.
And please get them brainstorming on who this upper level threat could be. Everywhere needs to start thinking about that.
For sure. Right. All right. Well.
And have something to eat.
Don't forget to have lunch, Icewind.
I appreciate that. No, I've been doing this job long enough. No, he's like, I've been doing this job long enough, and you see him open up a drawer, and he pulls out a small napkin, and he unwraps it, and it's like a little thing of fruit and some sliced up cheese.
He's like, I've fueled up.
I've been doing this job long enough to know that a snack seems to make things better. So.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
We'll head off for lunch.
I've got paperwork to finish up, and I don't think I said this yet, but thank you for everything you've done. That's now twice you've basically saved the city. So, thank you.
Do we get a pay raise?
I might be able to squeeze.
Is now the time to ask that
give me a persuasion check. Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah!
With help.
With help, we're smiling.
With help. With help.
With help, all right.
Kind of like that timing does. That's just me.
I
Nat
mean,
20,
she
nat
was like
20,
half
nat 20.
joking.
Nat 20, nat 20.
Jesus, I rolled 2 4s. But I have a +8 to persuasion.
Gravy.
That's 12.
He
Both
says
of these dice are going away.
He says, well, the timing of asking for something like that may not be great, but I won't say I can't. I won't say I can't find something. Just might not be anytime soon. So
it was a joke. Just.
all right.
You know.
Well, sorry.
If you
We'll keep delivering.
It's been a stressful day,
Yeah.
and I apologize for that. So, all right.
We
No
understand.
worries.
All right. Well, I'll leave you to your day. I said I've got to make sense of these notes and get something organized for Governor Strong. So,
All right.
thank you again. All right, you guys make your
Call a
way.
salute.
You guys make your way out, and with that, we will go ahead and take another quick break. We'll try to keep this one a little bit shorter since this is break number 2. So go grab a drink, go grab a snack, use the potty, and we'll be back in a minute.
Cockney rhyming speak. So I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frog and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
Very second.
Now I want to hear that
Literally.
in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah. You got to perform, but outside of that, yeah.
Absolutely. My inspo makes all the rolls less hard, and you all can thank this bard, and you're damn right. I pulled that card and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Love it.
Woo!
A round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
And
Y'all were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" So,
Yeah.
21.
That's fair.
Jesus.
Oh.
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
this little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so, just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge
you're, like,
things that you
literally
don't know
right.
about.
Like,
That needs to be clipped.
Good job.
y'all.
Or multi-classing to tie into your character development. Oh, we lost Bill. Oh, now he's back. To tie into your character development and to tie into the story that's happening that you may or may not have control over. Like, the stuff that happened that made that happen was more...
And that's perfect.
Ever.
I'm completely off the rails. That's amazing. I love it. That's
Hashtag new profile pic. Art.
All right, so
Those are fighting words.
are we showing Dominic to your room or going out for dinner? And
Yeah,
then...
show me to your room, Caddy.
Caddy Daddy.
Wow. Wow. Glad it wasn't me this time. I'm innocent. I'm innocent this time.
I
Not
told
me.
you I'm sleep deprived.
And he's out of earshot at this point.
I'm just gonna yell back, thank you! Bye!
Bang bang!
With my gauntlets. I'm not petty at all.
Nope. Not at all. Why don't you go on and head down to my office? I got some I want to discuss with you, just to, clear up timelines and whatnot. Duncan's like,
I don't like that.
Duncan's like, yeah, sure. I mean, makes sense. I was gone for a while, and I show up without it. Yeah, so it makes sense. Deviant's like, I appreciate that. Gives him a pat on the back.
Yeah, the music sounds great, but I can't hear you at all. Oh, there it is.
So that was
Oh no, so they didn't hear the
Pro
Yeah.
strip!
Professional streamer.
absolutely professional.
Yep.
That is what we do.
I want to do this for real when I grow up.
Cockney rhyming speak, so I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to
yes.
respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been off-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frogs and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you could pass along any brass tacks.
Looks at you, Morag.
It wasn't about taking away your choices. It was about putting magic in the right hands.
Nice. I like it.
Nice.
Hat off.
Thank you.
Very second, decent.
Now I want to hear that in Dominic's voice.
Yeah.
I will gladly give you a hug if you please sneeze into this jar. Thank you.
Cause we feel alright, let me build up your might as I sing my song. Care to sing along? I'll be doing this till you knock 'em down, or the songs run out, or the songs run out.
Yay!
Yeah.
I'm so inspired right now.
Yeah. You got to perform, but outside of that,
Absolutely. My inspo makes all the rules less hard, and you all can thank this bard, and you're damn right. I pulled that card and I could teach you, but I'd have to charge.
Love it.
Woo!
A round of applause. Round of applause.
Give him a hand.
And
Y'all were like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" So
Yeah.
21.
That's fair.
Jesus.
Huh.
On a stealth check?
It's +7.
this little boy
Jesus.
has a mission.
Oh,
today,
for
apparently.
dexterity.
How do you have so many huge pluses?
And so just
I've
to
got
be
a
clear,
lot of
Dee,
huge
you're like,
things.
I should have done it when you were
Daddy.
making the goofy face, Christy. When you were like,
It wasn't that goofy. It was just like,
big eyes.
Hooray!
Welcome back.
Christy was
Uh,
very ready for us to come back.
She's
that's all.
so ready. Let's go.
Go ready!
So ready. All right. Thanks, folks. Hope you got a drink. Hope you got a snack. Hope you use the potty. It's always a
Yes,
big one.
party for
Please
sure.
do.
Please do.
No
already
excuse.
regretting.
And thank you for the raid.
Instant regret.
Yes, thanks for the raid. Appreciate it.
Mhm.
Much love.
Right. Yes,
so,
little knees.
not the biggest knees, the little knees.
The little knees.
I'd rather Knee joke. Cool.
Another knee joke. I'm on fire tonight.
Knee slapper.
Yeah. Little knees.
God.
These jokes are the
Loyal
bee's knees.
knees. Loyal knees for one, because every time I stream,
Yeah.
after not streaming for like 6 months, knees is right there.
Knees is
That's
always
what I
here.
love about
Yeah.
There you go. Well, you should have. Everyone's knees should always be there. So, otherwise, they're not gonna be able to walk, and that'll be a problem.
That's why their name is Little Knees, because they're just always there.
Oh, and Rosie. Hello.
Hi, Rosie.
There you go. All right. So, welcome back. Let's do it. So, you guys walk out of Icewind's office. You make your way. I'm guessing heading for the cafeteria.
Yes.
Is that the
Lunchtime.
plan?
Food.
All right. So when you get to the cafeteria, Morag actually stops you guys and says, actually, I'm going to go check on Ace. He was pretty shooken up, so I just want to make sure that he's okay.
I don't blame you.
Please
Do you,
be
do you want us to
careful.
save you anything?
No, I'll be fine.
Less worried about staving stuff, but please be careful and keep an eye on around yourself.
Absolutely will.
Yeah, we'll
you,
catch you later for
yes.
dinner, maybe.
Yeah, that sounds great. We'll meet up later. And she
All right.
that turned into Russian.
It was great, though. You're doing great.
I'm done.
I'm gonna
And-
kind of.
and-
Oh, sorry.
yeah, and
You're
she.
doing better than I could ever do. So.
I appreciate that. So she makes her way past the hallway for the cafeteria and presumably out the front door. So
As we're walking to the cafeteria, I'm just gonna kind of get near Kira and just be like, do you happen to have any contacts you would trust in the Thieves Guild still?
Well, can we maybe not talk about this when we're in the middle of a garrison? Just
Well,
Time
that's-
and place, Flynn.
I mean,
a guard walks up
food.
and
Let's
says,
go
"Did
eat
you
some
say
food."
the Thieves Guild?"
let's go.
Maybe they can help us steal some food.
That's why I said it under my breath.
Thanks, Flynn.
If I had a nickel for every time I'd gotten that face in real life, I'd be making money in a weird way, but I'd have a lot of nickels.
You would have more than 2 nickels. For
More
sure.
than
I would have
more
two
than
nickels,
two.
which is weird. Which is not a lot of nickels,
That's
but it's
amazing.
weird that it's happened twice.
That needs to go on.
I
That needs
love
to
it.
go on a T-shirt too. Making money in weird ways.
No, it does not actually. Does not. Anyway, sorry. I derailed.
if we
I hate
go
being the derailer. So
in-
go ahead.
to the cafeteria and sit down kind of away from other people, then I will quietly say,
Yeah, and the cafeteria at this point, even though, once again, you would presume that it would, because it's right around lunchtime, you'd assume it'd be pretty crowded, almost completely barren. There's maybe a couple people that, there's a couple guards that were sitting over, eating quietly. They're sitting next to each other, but they're just eating quietly. And then the staffers that are there, looking over the food and swapping out the trays and stuff are standing there pretty solemnly. But once again, you get the vibe that the garrison's not getting a lunch break today, kind of thing. So
yeah. So after we grab our food and head to like a corner table off away, like I'll lead the way to a corner table off away from everybody else. Sorry. I'll say, well, I would have. I don't know that they'd be particularly happy to see me, but it might be worth reaching out. It might be worth reaching out because I just can't shake the feeling. I can't say that word apparently. That they're just not behind it, but a part of it.
You said they'd work for the right price. This sounds like an awfully group if they're this organized.
Well, and if they've got
Or
money
at least
behind them-
connected. Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yep.
connected to money. Like if they're going after high-ranking officials, they've got money. And if they're involved in that art heist, or maybe would it be regular for it to be part of a deal where like they would include like, hey, go after and take any art you want? Like would that be
So-
but get us this piece?
Well, I'm wondering about that art. The art didn't sound like an heist to me. Because certainly that not to brag, but that was more my area of expertise. That's not, you wouldn't coerce your way in if you were really going to be serious about it. It's certainly, that's not the Thieves Guild style, to coerce your way in to steal art.
So do you think it was
there
more
might
of
be
a
people who
fashion
would
grab
remember you.
thing?
So someone trying to frame the Thieves Guild?
I don't think that the Thieves Guild is involved with that at all. I think I would be very interested to find out what they took from that, to see if it's related in any way to the Lion Arts or the Inventors Guild or something like that. Because none of that felt like the guild style. The assassinations, on the other hand, I mean, for that many assassins to fail, I'm not gonna say heads are gonna be rolling, but heads might be rolling after that.
Like they'd all. So if someone fails at a hit job, would they?
If it's as high paying as they would have been to take it in the first place, that's a fair bit of coin that the guild missed out on if the contracts weren't actually completed.
True. Understood. Yeah.
But on the art, do you think it was? I mean, it could have just been a random smash and grab, and the chaos. Someone saw an opportunity and took it.
Well, they said they talked their way in.
Also, they used magic to coerce their way in. So it could be unrelated. I agree. It could be coincidental. Like you said, somebody saw an opportunity in the middle of it.
Oh my gosh!
Your cat is going to destroy something. Give me a heart attack in the process.
Sorry for the distractions.
It's cats being cats. What are you going to do?
She's in the background with huge eyes going, chaos, chaos, chaos!
I just, that one, either it's connected in some way or it's not, but I don't think it's connected to the guild. The Thieves Guild, anyway. That one. But the assassination attempts, I'm a little bit more suspicious of that one. And it is interesting to me that we saw that face tattooed person around town this week, but it's surprising to me that there wasn't an assassination attempt, because that's the sort of person that would be given that sort of assignment.
Do you think that face tattooed person that's been seen is with the Thieves Guild then?
I think it's pretty likely. That's the sort of thing that a lot of the super dangerous people, especially the assassins.
Jen sort of slightly visibly relaxes.
It's a mark of someone that's done a really dangerous job, and that usually means some sort of assassination.
So it could just be dangerous. More that maybe they're interested in you rather than whatever happened here.
Honestly, they could be. I mean, I should, in theory, be pretty small potatoes comparatively. But
Clancy, do you? Oh.
She also holds grudges, so I don't know.
She? The person? You know the person? Or the person that runs the Thieves Guild?
Well, I mentioned this before with the Nightmares and the list. Nightingale on the list.
Mm-hmm.
That's the head of the Thieves Guild.
Okay. Oh, I thought you meant the face tattooed person you knew. Okay.
No, I never saw him.
Okay.
That was
well, and that's so. Clancy, do you know any magic that could hold someone in place or stop them from moving in some way? Because I'm thinking if you see this face tattooed person again, you should do something like that so that we can question them. Or try, at least. I mean, we don't know what kind of power this person has, but...
That's not something I've necessarily studied myself. I'm sure it's something I could potentially look into and learn.
Yeah, we should ask somebody if they know how.
I'm sure there's something, but it's just nothing that's in my current skill set.
I only know how to knock them out.
You're really good at that.
I only know how to.
I am good at knocking them out, but you got to get them to hold still. Well, I mean, they don't have to hold still, but I got to be able to see them.
Well, at the very least, we should try to follow them if we see them again.
Absolutely.
I'd be willing to bet after the chaos of today, unless they're looking for me, I suppose. They
True, I guess that will
it.
rule out whether or not they're looking for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
You,
Or
you
one of us in
don't
general.
think that maybe people were trying to see if we'd come out to do something about this, do you?
I would bet that whoever's behind this was scouting out. Like, I know the people that did it left, but I bet if this goes as deep as we think, yes, they were looking at what the response was and who responded well.
It wouldn't be looking for me. They'd have to put a stage out there and be like, no performers on the stage or anything. I mean,
You said someone's looking for you. And honestly, I'm glad you said you're pretty sure that person's from the Thieves Guild, because Flint said someone's looking for him, and I've been keeping eyes out for whoever it is that's looking for him. So
it's not the Thieves Guild.
Flynn.
Oh, whoever's looking for you put out a contract. with
Flynn,
Thieves
my
Guild.
friend.
Yes.
Not to
Could you do me a
stir the
favor?
pot.
Favors are happening.
And could you roll yourself a history check?
Maybe. I have a cat in my rolling space.
you need to roll in my space.
Alright, don't move. Just a straight up 20. What am I
History.
rolling? History. You said history, okay.
History.
So intelligence, if you're proficient.
Ooh, I like it. That's right, it's over here. So that would be a 21.
Give me a second.
Nice.
Give me a
Flynn
second.
has
You
a very
guys continue
natural.
your conversation.
Ruh-roh.
So yeah,
I mean,
they
not to stir the pot, but if whoever's looking for you, Flynn, took out a contract with a Thieves Guild, then it could be someone from a Thieves Guild looking for you. But I don't. I mean, unless they're looking to assassinate you, I don't know why they'd have someone with a face tattoo.
Are you no
assigned to it.
longer a member of the Thieves Guild, Kira?
Not really.
So you wouldn't be able to find out who has contracts out.
I don't. Okay, let me put it this way. I left the guild about 2 years or so ago, a bit abruptly and somewhat unofficially.
I see.
And I don't know what the reception would be were I to start poking around again. It's one thing chatting with people using the doublespeak, or looking for signs, but it's another thing to go asking after guild business. I mean, I might have some friends that won't turn me in. I also don't know if she's actually looking for me. That's the other part. I just kind of left. I don't know. And that's the biggest thing, and I wish I could be more help. But
No,
we'd
it's
have
alright.
to.
That makes sense.
If we were to walk down that alley, it would have to be an alley in Waynon.
You have to go see her directly.
Or everybody I know, or most of the people I know are in Waynon, so that would be the place.
Oh,
we'd have to
so
go.
if you're in bad standing with the guild, if you went into any other guild, you'd get in trouble on sight.
Not necessarily, but there's not really headquarters the way there is.
I'm just
in
wondering
Waynon.
if you could like pull rank somewhere
And
or
that's-
something. Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't exactly highly ranked. I'd been in
Okay.
it for a while, but yet in order to really move up the ranks, you got to do more than roof work, and that's mostly what I did. That's where my skills lie.
Yeah.
So,
Even
if
without
name
that,
dropping would help, or that, but
that's what I mean. What about maybe like a contact you might have had? Just not necessarily as part of the Thieves Guild, but a contact for the Thieves Guild that you can go to and get information.
well, I know there's not a chapter, whatever you want to call it, here in Furan. That's not.
oh, so the
big
fact
enough.
that there's so the fact that there's thieves here from the Thieves Guild means they traveled.
Yeah, probably. There's not. I mean, there's probably a regular rotation of people through here just because of the docks and everything, but there's not going to be like a conglomeration,
Mm-hmm.
if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Yep.
But most of my contacts, because I mostly worked at Wayne, and that's where all my contacts are. So
Mhm.
there are some people I could probably that aren't like necessarily part of the guild, but are like, on the fringes that I might be able to try to like ask through, but it's gonna be like second, third, fourth end information at that point. but it would be a place to stop. But again, we'd have to go to Wayne if we were gonna.
I guess depending on what Icewind comes up with, if we end up needing to go near Wayne, then we should stop there. If you're comfortable with digging around.
Maybe that's our next stop.
Well, I mean, if we get into a scrape, if you guys all have my back,
we'll always have your back. We'll always have your back.
Got you.
Especially us little folks.
In the distance, you hear, "I've got your back, boy."
What? Why are you talking to herself?
Somewhere right now, she's like talking to Ace, and all of a sudden she's like, "My friend Kira needs help." Bill, make sure you check your DMs.
Yeah, she just wants to make sure. It's a complicated situation, and a lot of it is that I just don't know. I just don't know the kind of reception. I don't know how much I piss people off. I don't know how angry Nightingale's gonna be.
Shade.
Or is. Nightshade, sorry, I don't know why.
Shot Florence Nightingale.
I got the night part, okay?
Yeah, there you go.
I don't know how angry Nightshade would have been with the whole situation. I don't know. And like I said, I wasn't very highly ranked or anything. I was just...
Well, we're gonna need more information on who's looking for you, too.
Grunt.
I'm not really looking to get into this conversation because this is very uncomfortable.
I understand that it's uncomfortable, Flynn, but we're gonna need to know who's looking for
just let
you.
me talk or I'm not talking. That's a lie. I'll talk about something else.
Zen's actual reaction was just...
What? Oh? Speaking about the art heist and what you were talking about with, not charming and your way in and so forth. My instant thought was the Thieves Guild. It must have been the Thieves Guild. They must do that too. Yeah, totally. No. Especially since you said that's not your cup of tea, and that totally makes sense. Yeah, that sounds more like that sounds more like the Basilisks. People we really don't want to meet or deal with. Just it's another group.
It sounds like is this the group that you've dealt with then?
Incidentally, yes. Was not all right. I thought he was a manager. I was literally trying to go and pursue my stardom, trying to go out there, trying to get up on that big stage, and I heard these guys talk about a job, and it's like, that's exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for that job. Yeah, where is it? And they sent me out, and it's like, well, this isn't exactly what I was looking for, but, okay. And they just kept me, no, we'll get you up there. We'll get you up there. Until they sent me on one job. And that was my dream. All I could see with all those people in the carts, all their faces, staring at me. They were hustling people. They were... Go ahead.
They're human traffickers, the basilisks.
In addition to other shady business.
Does the Thieves Guild know about the basilisks? Have I ever heard about the basilisks?
I was gonna say, would the Thieves Guild in my capacity have known? Probably not, right?
No, two different... I mean, you gotta think the Assassins Guild was, pickpocket jobs, heists, assassinations if it got to that, kidnappings, kind of stuff like that. This is like the... hate to put it this way, but like honor amongst thieves. Like, we do some stuff, but stuff like that is like crossing the line for us for the most part. With the exception of a small pocket.
Known about it.
Small pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you can't speak to that, but what you know from this doesn't sound like anything that you. This doesn't sound like anything you definitely you would not have been a part of, and you wouldn't have known anybody that would have been offered any kind of job like this.
I mean, everyone talks about the Thieves Guild being down and dirty.
Jen,
These people
you
are
asked
down
if you
and
knew
dirty.
about it. You've been around musicians, so as far as you knew them as a band, music group. stuff like that.
So I have heard of them as a band.
Yeah, because you've been around musicians and all that, you know, most of your
Or
adult
so I
life.
assume that they're a band? I've heard the name, but I assumed that they're a band?
I mean, you have seen them perform before.
Okay. Okay, so my capacity is I know of a band named...
Yeah, you know of a band named the Basilisks. Yeah.
Are they known for being, like, heavy into, like drugs or partying or something like that?
Roll a history check for me on that.
Oh yeah, they party all right.
Guild gets a bad rap, I will say.
14, and this dice is going away.
Thieves
No
Guild
more
mostly
than,
just take people down a peg.
especially in Eden, no more than any other group.
Okay.
Like Sabo, like which is where you spend most of your time, more low key stuff. But you know, Eden's totally different beast. So
Yeah, my Kaylee thought was, or actually no, sorry, actually Jen thought was kind of like thinking about, was this maybe something I had assumed was a band, but maybe was like a medieval drug connection kind of thing.
Motley Crue, the medieval Motley Crue,
yeah.
literally and figuratively.
So, yeah. So, do you think that maybe, since you said that these assassinations were way more high profile than the Thieves Guild would even go for, that there's a possibility that this could even be above the Thieves Guild and it could have all been this basilisk people?
Could be.
Actually, there's a question for you, DM.
Sure.
Were there any magic users in the basilisks besides bards?
I mean, they were basically bards, yeah. Which most bards, what are their strong suits when they're magic?
Charm.
So, are you going to mention that it is mostly bards instead of like thieves and killers or whatever? Thieves and assassins.
Yeah, the best of my knowledge, it was mostly other bards, and they seem to be really good with their social skills, and everything they do is social. But some of them are a little bit more social than they should be.
Is the basilisks that I know of like one group of people, or is it like Kids Bop where they change out the members?
When you saw, I mean, granted, it's been a few years for you. You saw them. Give me another history check.
Okay, different.
Because remember, you traveled around a lot.
Yeah. Oh, and that one. Thank God I'm a halfling.
I'll help you.
Can you help me?
Sure.
For the little bit of time I knew, it didn't help.
You have no space to roll it.
They're just fine. That is a 18.
I mean, granted, I don't have space to roll either.
When you saw them, they tended to have the same group, but it's also been a few years.
Okay, it's definitely a thought on my mind, wondering if this is a front.
So it
I
sounds
can
to me
definitely
like
tell you it's a front.
it sounds to me like we've got possibly Thieves Guild involvement with the assassinations, possibly this Basilisk group with the art heist, and possibly some nefarious other group that wants magic to be controlled but seems to use it willy-nilly regardless.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, friggin' hypocrites.
Yeah.
DM, boop. Check the list from Deviant's desk again.
Check the list from where on earth did I put the list from Deviant?
In the bag of holding?
Well, one thing on that, it could have just been intentional bad use of magic to kind of put that narrative in people's heads more.
Right, fear. Yeah, fear mongering.
True.
That's definitely, especially with the protests and see, it's screaming, fear mongering.
I didn't know that they were so bad. Not until it was too late. That's why I ran away.
How many jobs did you do with them before you ended up with that?
I don't know.
Was this before I met you?
Yes. It was long before I met you. And
So
I was running from
That's why your mom didn't want you to leave home for the second time.
Yeah.
Oh.
One of the reasons I don't like to talk about it. So,
Waffles.
Wieners. Wieners are great. Look at all these wieners.
Flynn, we're gonna have to know more about the basilisk.
So
You can make
We're
it
gonna
right,
pull
whatever
out-
you did, by helping us stop them. If they're involved. Sorry, go ahead.
I completely agree. So we've got this list from Deviant's office, so the Dragon's Claw leader's office. It has on it Nightshade, which is Thieves Guild. It has Jillian, which I think Flynn you said was
that's the leader of
when
the
we were
basilisk.
talking about this before. That's
the
of the
leader. You know it's the
basilisk.
leader,
He was as high up as I knew.
and that's who's after you.
Yeah. I'm assuming he's after me. I just haven't really seen them, but according to my dream, yeah.
I think we need to talk about a pay raise.
I will give you all of my love. All of it.
I think we need to talk about a pay raise.
I'll give you extra.
Buy lunch.
Yeah, love doesn't buy extra supplies to keep you alive.
My love don't
too.
cost a
Anyway.
thing except a bodyguard.
We've also
Continue.
got the Lion's Fang is on this list, which I
What was
think, if
that?
I remember, that's the rumors that Icewind was talking about. This
Oh,
larger
yeah.
group.
Oh, were they the ones that were giving orders to the Dragon's Claw? They think.
Maybe, or were working with other people like the Dragon's Claw. And then
You
we've
know?
also got Lion's Respite, whatever that is, and then Stormbreaker's Tears, which I
I
think
know what
Jen, you said
Stormbreaker is.
Stormbreaker's a monster.
Well, it's a myth, really, but yeah.
Myth,
I
monster, whatever.
have a thought. We should. Oh God, I don't really want to go talk to him again, but we should go talk to Duncan.
Where is he?
He's in the garrison. Is he down in the? Didn't he turn himself in?
Was he going to try
got
to serve,
released.
or was that not decided?
Oh God. Let me get my notes.
If I remember correctly, he was released, and
Well, I don't think he was released. I think he was going to be given the same choice. We asked them to give him the same choice we got.
Yeah.
Because he wasn't going to be released because he had been a member.
no,
of the
they were going to
Dragon's
find something for him to do,
Claw. Yeah.
but he wasn't in jail.
Community service. Icewind was going to work out community service for him.
Okay. Similar to
That
us, then, I
is
think.
the last note I have about Duncan in my previous notes.
So, and Duncan gave us pretty much all the information he had, I think. Like, yes, we could talk to him again, but I think we need to find Xing Xing or the next level up.
Pretty sure we killed the next level up.
Well, now, I mean, the next level up from the Dragon's
Beyond-
Claw.
Beyond.
Oh
beyond. Well, but I'm wondering. Okay, so we've got.
We could go
Dragon's
talk to a
Claw,
door.
We've got
It'll
Lion.
tell us to go away.
Lion's Fang. We've got Stormbreaker's Tears. What if Stormbreaker's Tears is another one of these groups?
Oh my god, I wonder if they're out in the mountains. Or out in Wilden? Do I know of any rebels or that, not rebels, but sympathizers for the revolution, or for the Lion's Heart?
It would have been.
Before I left.
It would have been too long because you left like right around or
left
prior to
for
the revolution. Yeah, you left
Yeah, I
right
left
around or yeah.
To
So
be a part of it.
yeah, so you. I mean, Wilden, from what you know, very isolated. So.
Okay, they were just more, because as far as I knew, they were just more concerned with whether they were going to finally become a part of the recognized world. So I didn't know of any people that were more like good with what the Lionhearts were doing.
Never really. I mean, you were in your small village, and it never really came up like that. But the fact that you do know that that Wildland is represented in the Council in 7, when it was pretty much largely ignored during the Lionheart family, during the Lionheart reign, tells you something.
Okay, yeah. Well, because like I said, because I left to become a part of the revolution. So I guess what I'm really wondering is, like, when I left to become a part of the revolution, there weren't people like within our clans and stuff like that who were sympathetic to the Lionhearts.
I mean,
They were more just going to help with the revolution. Anyone who was leaving was going to help with the revolution.
Yeah, but you not a lot of people left. You got to remember that.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Okay.
Like, not a lot of people came in. Like, yeah, sure, there were some people that were like, let's just stay here. Let's just do our own thing. Let them handle... Like, you guys were isolated. Very isolated from the rest of the world. So, once again, very similar to a lot of you, the choices you made to get to where you're at now kind of went against the grain from what you knew.
Okay.
Good God, pretty much all of you are like that. Jesus.
Yeah.
Wow.
All right. And yeah, I mean,
we're not exactly choices at the time.
Yeah.
And so Stormbreaker is just, you know, this legend of a monster that's in the mountains. And so I would, if it was a group, I would imagine that they would be somewhere near the mountains, if not out in Wilden. But I mean, Wilden's pretty isolated, so I don't know how much they could help from there, unless it's sort of like a protected place to lead from.
I mean, I feel like we're all just grasping at straws at this point. I think we need to come up with... Maybe this will have to wait until after Icewind talks to the other commanders tomorrow. But if we're going to really pursue this, I feel like we're going to need to figure out...
Has Icewind seen this list?
I haven't shown it to anybody.
Okay.
I think our next bet is to really go talk to Duncan and see if what's his douche was talking to other people. Was
If
talking
he
to
knew about it. Duncan wasn't really high up in the ranks.
He wasn't
but...
high up in there, but I mean, everybody was around all the time. So if anybody showed up, you know,
He had a lot of private conversations in his office, but I mean, yeah, it's worth asking possibly. But
Yeah, we could go talk to Duncan. I wouldn't want to do that without Morag, though. I feel like
No.
she'd be annoyed.
oh yeah, we should definitely update her before we go do anything.
Yeah,
Of
but
course,
and I don't
she's gonna have her own-
think I didn't show Duncan wasn't there when I brought this out because I was nervous, honestly.
can you go over the list one more time? Just all the names on it.
Lion's Respite, Jillian, Stormbreaker's Tears, Nightshade, Lion's Fang.
We don't know what Lion's Respite is. We don't know what Stormbreaker's Tears is. We don't know what Lion's Fang is.
Well,
Yes,
I
Clarence.
know. I know Lion's Rest, but it's a place. It's not really a group or anything. It's a place. I've been there. Back before I was kicked out of the family, we kind of held events and gatherings there a lot of the time, and you know, it could be for birthdays or weddings or whatever. That's where everyone would go for anything event-wise involving the family.
Located.
Yeah, you beat me to it.
Where? Like, what city is it near?
That's something Tony's gonna have to, because he never told me.
DM. What
DM.
city is it?
Actually, I found it. I found it on the map. Small coastal city, formerly known as the Lion's Respite. It's Lionheart, the island of Lionheart.
Oh.
Or wait, now it's called something else, but the pin is in the way. Lualark?
No,
Lunark?
ignore the label.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, it's Lionheart, the island of Lionheart. Is that where like the Lionheart family is or something?
Let's see here. Clancy, roll a history check for me.
Please be a good one.
Take that as a no.
Dice jail. Plus your history. Oh, do you have a plus 0 or?
Well, what do I have? I mean, I have 3 is not promising, whatever, even with my modifier.
That's true.
Yeah.
Unless your history is really, really good.
8 total. So still.
I mean, that's
Not
pretty good.
bad.
I mean,
but yeah.
that's a good buff for sure, man. You should be doing more history checks.
Yeah.
So with an 8 though, after you got kicked out of the family, you lost track of everyone. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously you assume family members either got imprisoned or executed or died fighting for the family, but you, outside of that, you know, those are just assumptions you make. So outside of that, you don't know for sure of what happened to really anybody. So
I don't know. I feel like if we're gonna track this down, it's either gonna be going to wherever the Inventors Guild is. Morag would know wherever the Inventors Guild is, because I feel like there's a weak spot there as far as information goes.
I agree.
That was Boros, wasn't it?
Was it Boros? I don't remember. Boros is one of the cities that got attacked.
Everywhere.
Morag
gets
will
attacked.
know. I don't remember where the Inventors Guild
We'll have
is.
to talk to Morag. We should also,
Yeah.
I mean, since we're here and he's here, we should talk to Duncan.
We should talk to Duncan and see if he can shed any light on these names. And then I feel like going to Waynon and maybe quietly asking around about the Thieves Guild would maybe be a thing to do.
I mean, could it be something as simple as we pose as prospective members without having to have you out in the open and being exposed?
I was wondering about that as well. You could tell us how to
We could try
maybe
that.
seek entry.
Who would we go to find out? I mean, Furon has dogs. It has dogs, right? Did I see that correctly?
Yeah.
So, who would we go to find out where ships go from it? They actually go to Lion's Respite?
Are you asking DM? Or are you asking?
I'm
in
asking
general?
DM. I'm asking the DM who I would go to.
I mean, you go to the docks. There's a harbor master. You can go and talk to, see if the ships go that route.
Okay. I'm assuming it. I would know something about that at least.
Yeah,
or at least have somewhat of an idea.
Yeah. Based on your I'm thinking, sorry. I would say based on what you know, you have to talk to the harbor master to figure out like what the exact routes of ships would go, like, because you've been around, but you've never been on boats. You've never been like a deckhand. You've never worked at the docks or anything like that.
Yeah.
So you don't know ship routes. You just know when a boat comes in, boat leaves.
Yeah. I've never gone on a boat myself at all. Flynn has never been on a boat. I'm just assuming that he had heard about a harbor master, whoever's going to be in charge of that.
Yeah,
Like, if I was ever going to perform anywhere around a ship or anything.
Every city that has docks is going to have a harbor master, because there's only like 4 or 5 cities that have docks. So like, boat trade is a big deal. So everyone would be big enough to have a harbor master.
I think maybe we should go down and maybe talk to the harbor master as well and see if there's any ships that head out that way, or if that's just something completely secluded at this point.
I feel like that's taken a big leap, though. We don't know.
That's what I do.
Any of that's connected.
It's on the list, though. That's definitely worth asking about.
I know, but we're also assuming. Well, it's worth asking. I agree, but we're also assuming that this list has anything to do with what's going on now. That's a leap.
It just, if it was important to Deviant and he was the head of the Dragon's Claw, it's got to have some significance. Is my only thought on that.
I'm sure, but does that have anything to do with the attack today? Or today. God, was it?
Well, I would assume that the attack today is maybe a consequence of maybe at least one of the things on that list.
Yeah, and we are the closest, largest port town to it. Here.
Oh, true. There's no other. Yeah.
But we'd also be going in blind, and I got to tell you that is Thieves Guild number 1. You never go in blind. I'd want to know more information about what we'd be jumping into before we go there. But
know what to ask.
Not to say that, like, finding out where we would want to go, like, if it's a regular place where supplies get dropped off, if there's a settlement there, or if it's completely off the map, I feel like that's good information to have. But just, I'm not getting on boat to Lion's Respite.
No, but maybe we can just do some digging, see if anyone's got loose lips down at the docks.
Yeah.
I mean, really, Clancy, what happened to your family after the revolution? I mean, what happened to them?
I think he said he already left before, right?
Are they still alive?
I never kept tabs. I left when the revolution was kind of starting, but that wasn't really why I left. I mean, as you know, I fell in love with someone they didn't like, and they kicked me out. So I wanted nothing to do with them, and I just kind of lived my life until she was gone, and that's kind of where I'm at now. I never kept tabs with them. For all I care, they could all be dead, and I wouldn't.
Well, if they're not, you
know
can
any-
still have a hand in it. Or a knife, for that matter.
Tact, Flynn, tact.
So, let's go find Morag.
All right. So wrapping up lunch, making your way.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think we're just talking in circles at this point.
Yeah. So you
I
guys
think
make your...
Icewind needs to know about the list, though.
Well, we can talk to him tomorrow. He said I think he's got a lot on his plate, and I think we want to talk to him again after he's talked to the other commanders. So
Yeah.
we can bring up the list then. Maybe we'll have a chance to talk to either the harbor master, maybe check in with Duncan before then, so we have a bit more information, at least about the list.
All right. So you guys make your way. So you guys clear your clear your trays, to clear your plates, make your way out. You guys are making your way. You make your way out of the garrison. You're heading back through the streets, through the town center, towards Ace's store. And kind of by the main statue in the center of the town square, you see a small crowd gathered. Not making a lot of noise or anything, just kind of standing around.
All right,
Swing
get eyes on it.
closer to
Yeah.
them and hear if anybody's talking, what they're talking about.
Perceive.
Sure. Yep. Perception checks for everybody.
Dice will betray me now.
18.
10.
God, you are the worst roller ever of all time.
I'm the worst, except for when it doesn't count.
Well, I rolled a 5, so I don't know about that.
All right. Well,
17.
You are not the worst roller
17.
ever.
all right.
Clancy's
I
got
rolled,
a
technically I rolled a 4. I just have a +6 to perception.
Jeez. That's once again, when you roll well, you're gonna crush it. Just.
no.
I know.
Oh no. So you guys make your way, and Jen and Flynn first notice it, because you guys get a little bit closer. You see people, standing around the statue. The big. It's just like a, generic looking statue in the center of the city square. And as you get closer, you hear some sobs. Not a lot of talking, really. And you're kind of at this point like at the back of the crowd. And it seems like they're semicircled around the statue.
Is this folks who've lost people then today?
Is this a memorial?
I'm assuming someone's fucking dead right there. And...
So you make your way. All right, so you kind of like skirt your way through the crowd. And you see on the standing by the statue is portraits. Like they're not like super in depth. It looks like they were done, like someone had been given a description and somebody, painted it up real quick and put it up there. And as you get closer, you see like 4 or 5 of these done. And you see Flynn, your gnome painter.
Oh, no.
Sitting there talking to a couple. And they're describing, they come up and they say, and she had golden hair that was like down to her shoulders, and we always tried to part it a certain way, and it always just seemed like it did its own thing. And the painter's like, all right, I get it. And you see the gnome is painting pictures of people. 2 + 2,
Sorry.
you guys put it together, that passed away and is setting up kind of a makeshift small memorial.
I'm going to kind of skirt over next to the statue and just be looking at this. I'm going to get up close to him. And does he have something set up? Does he have
He doesn't even have they don't have their tip tray up or anything. They're just the easel's up, stack of posters, just
okay,
kind of zoning out to the world except for what this couple is talking to them about.
I'd like to walk up. I'd like to take some gold and I'd like to put it next to him. He'll find it when he finds it, and I'd like to start singing I'm singing at him, but I'm singing for the entire crowd a song of remembrance and of a little bit sad, but a little bit for anyone who has lost anything, kind of like Eric Clapton's If I Saw You in Heaven kind of thing.
Sure.
And just singing this, and I want to inspire him at the same time.
Okay. So performance with advantage. And
can we possibly, maybe not, I don't know if it makes sense, but I don't know if we could spare some gold for the families.
That's up to you guys.
Depends on how much gold you took. I mean, I think that the governor was going to take care of
I
some
hope
of that.
so.
And certainly Icewind would. I would say maybe we'd check in on them and make sure.
All right, I rolled a 25.
Yeah, so you're not used to doing performances like this, but feeling like for the first time in a long time, feeling part of a community, like you're singing from the heart, and the crowd notices, and the gnomish painter stops and kind of looks at you for a second and starts to go, "What are you doing?" But then stops, listens to the words you're saying and all that, and kind of nods and kind of whispers, you make eye contact and they kind of whisper thank you, and they go right back to painting and using your inspiration. They paint this beautiful portrait, and you see
And they got the hair just right.
Got the hair just right. And you see when you look at it that it's a picture of a kid, maybe 8 or 9 years old.
And after I'm done performing and so forth, I'm just going to put a hand on his shoulder and say, thank you. And just out through the crowd.
Yep. Alright. So, guys, move past this somber memorial. You make your way to... You stop at... Your first place logically to go would be Ace's shop. No, it is... You would have presumed, once again, because of the festivities prior to and then what happened, that it was closed and locked up. But you do... As you guys approach, you do notice Morag and Ace walking out. They're, kind of talking quietly, and then she, kind of looks over and notices you guys and waves, and, he turns around and waves. And, they share a hug and a kiss. And then he makes his way back to, one direction, and then she starts walking towards you.
So when she gets here, we can fill her in on kind of the discussion.
Sure.
That we had.
Right.
And that, we think, at least before we get a chance to talk to Icewind again tomorrow and get more information from the other commanders, that it would be worthwhile talking to maybe the Arbor Master to find out about shipping routes or whatever to the Lion's Respite, and maybe talking to Duncan and see if he had heard any of these names or heard Deviant talking to anybody else. Again, presuming that this is related. Can't imagine that it's not, but we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
And then maybe after we talk to Icewind, we'll have a bit more direction to go to, either wherever the Inventors Guild office is, or to Waynon, or to Osing to research or something. We'll have a bit more direction.
Right. So we have a few different directions we can go. I believe going to Arceus is very important because that's kind of where a lot of information about who helped out where would be housed.
Arceus,
At Arceus. That's where the Inventors Guild headquarters is.
Right.
Nope, losing it. She thinks for a moment. She also says, well, Moore is right there. I mean, and there was an assassination attempt there, so that's another possibility. Definitely, it definitely wouldn't be bad to go to Osing as well. No, because I'm not much for book learning, but there's a lot of books there. Yeah, I don't know. She's smart. I take that back. I apologize. She's like, checking the history. And it sounds like really any of these cities where anything happened is a possibility to check out. So it's a matter of which one is going to be the easiest to get to, right? And also what's going to be the most helpful right away.
I guess closest would be easiest.
Moore is the closest. Well, and I think we ought to talk to Icewind too, because he might have more information for us tomorrow.
Right.
Yeah, we shouldn't bound off today. Yeah.
Right. No, not at all. And I think... No, I agree, and I definitely wouldn't want to leave Ace without, saying a proper goodbye, so...
You gonna have your wedding before we leave?
Listen! And she turns red. Listen!
Proper. I'm gonna elbow.
Listen!
Goodbye is proper.
Listen! Just because we said, ooh, I love you to each other does not mean we're getting married anytime soon.
There's the accent.
So, I'll need you to shut your mouths about it, especially around Ace, because I swear to gods, if you'd mention it around him... And then she takes out her lightning hand and goes... It'll be a job for all of you!
Whoa, clearly she's not a show horse or anything.
You're literally channeling D so much in this moment. Even before you whipped out the lightning.
Well done.
Thank you. So yeah, I mean, Icewind said he told you guys that he was going to check in with Governor Strong later this afternoon. Didn't, really... Neither he nor Governor Strong gave a time. How do you guys want to spend the rest of your afternoon?
Trying to help out where we can.
Yeah, looking around, ears to the ground, and also looking for Tattoo Face.
Okay.
Unless there's anything else anyone else wants to.
Morag...
Master talk to Duncan.
I figured we might want D for the Duncan talk.
Yeah,
But...
that's true. I agree.
Yeah. Morag says, I think it's important that we help the city out first before we go talking to anybody. So maybe we go see what's going on there at the town square. Make sure that make sure that that restaurant is okay.
Yeah.
Maybe help out that.
Yeah, I think while we help, we can get ears around.
I don't think that restaurant's okay.
No, clearly it's not, but we can help make it maybe a little bit better. What the fudge was that?
Dude, if nothing else, I know it's not Scottish, but just channel Sean Connery at least.
Yeah, or
Shrek. Right, like
Shrek.
Or Shrek. Shrek is another good one.
Morag says, I'm not going to do that. So. Alright, so I guess the plan, go back to the city square, check out the restaurant, and...
Yeah, anyone who needs help.
Yeah,
and
just
ears
listen,
open.
Listen,
Eyes open, ears open.
Look.
Alright, your excuse. So... you guys head back to the city square, you head over to the restaurant, it still has the massive boulder wedged in it, but... like some of the guardrails that were, or some of the barricades that were used to map out the parade route have now been moved to like section it off, and most of the debris has been cleared out. And you do see a couple armored guards, and then a person in plain clothes.
Are
maybe
they
like
very
an overcoat,
plain clothes or just plain clothes?
just plain. Like maybe some kind of like, you know, business coat, something like that.
Business.
Is this working? Yay! And they're all kind of standing there, and as you walk up, you hear the person in, you know, non-uniform, since I can't say plain clothes, Brennan, in non-armored say, kind of scratch their head and go, yeah, I know how to get that out of there without, like, I checked the structure, the structural integrity, and honestly, at this point, the boulder is kind of keeping the whole building up. And the guard's like, yeah, see, the problem is, like, we were kind of told, like, to help get the boulder out, so that way we could help repair it. And
do you want me to help destroy the boulder?
And
kind
of
of around the boulder, to be honest. I mean,
I guess you could say that
make it
between
some
a
kind of fancy
rock in a
entrance.
hard place.
Yeah, damn it. Yes.
Or a hole in the wall?
Just a hole in the wall place. It's not fancy or anything.
Building, I don't think we want to take it out. I feel like we might need to take down parts of the building first.
I mean, if they're
Or,
worried about it coming out anyway, we might as well just destroy
hold
the
on.
boulder and then rebuild from there.
And
Oh
then we
no,
could
I
also
can't do
just
that.
Build up some
Hold on.
supports
Emergency,
before we
emergency.
take the
Just
boulder
kidding.
out.
I'm a professional. Hold on a
Whoa.
sec.
Supports, that
We're
would
good.
work. Maybe. I'm talking like I know anything about this. I don't know anything about this.
Oh no.
I don't know.
I don't
They said they got rid of the
have.
boulder. I'll punch the boulder till it's gone.
I don't have
God,
her.
I can
Okay.
Stab the boulder?
I'm gonna make a reasonable assumption on her intelligence modifier. Oh
I
wait,
mean,
I
I
can
don't
just
know,
look at
so-
what's her. Okay, wait. I gotta wait for her character card to come up. And I can
Yeah, I was
see
gonna
what her
say it'll pop up.
intelligence is. Morag, +2.
2.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Here you go.
So, all right. So we're gonna roll for which one should be Morag. Oh, we'll make
She
Morag
didn't
clear.
send you her character sheet?
I'm kind of shooting from the hip on this. I expected
You
it to
can't
be
open
like
Discord easily. It's in our Discord DMs, and like that'll mess up the cameras for him.
yeah. That well, I'm looking on my phone.
Oh.
No, I looked on my phone and I scrolled to see if she had sent it to me in the past, and she didn't. So I'm shooting from the hip on this.
Oh.
Batty.
To be
You're
fair,
Tisk tisk on the rerun.
Yeah.
Tisk tisk.
Ooh. All right. Well, she still rolled pretty well, so all right, so +2. Okay. So she walks up and she kind of like inspects everything. And she turns to the, you know, non-uniformed individual and says, actually, right, if we I'm going to try to do Sean Connery now. Sean Connery.
Sean Connery.
If we put certain beams. Now I sound like Jimmy Stewart. What am I doing? What am I doing?
Shrek. Go for Shrek.
I can't
How
do it
about
at all.
Shrek?
No. So
Okay, that's fine. Don't do it then if it's distracting.
Morag in a Scottish accent says, "Well, if you put a couple, like a beam here and a beam there and a beam there, and then one of us either casts Shatter or Shatter might probably do too big of a radius. maybe Jen, if you hit it in, and she looks at the boulder, starts inspecting it, and be like, all right, yeah. If you hit it like here, here, and here, it should crack and be able to be taken apart while the beams are supporting it. And plain
Do I get to
glow.
punch something?
In a Scottish accent, she says, "Yes, you do." Aye, that you do.
You know, that kind of does make sense more, like, because doing renovations on the cabin I bought a long time ago, it was in disarray, and I had to put a support beam up to take down a wall I wanted to take down, and that worked out pretty well. So
Morag kind of looks at you and says, "I didn't know you owned a farm. Did any of you know he owned a farm?"
No.
You are just full of mysteries, aren't you? There, you.
well, I've shared a little bit about who I was beforehand.
Fair.
It's not a big deal. It's just where I lived. I mean, it
All
was
right, that's fair.
self-sustained. It
That's fair.
wasn't. I didn't sell crops.
I'm just curious, how big is this boulder?
I mean, it's the size of a storefront, so we're talking like.
It's not just a boulder.
6.
It's a rock. Sorry.
Ah, it's like well, the statue the statue is about 10 feet tall, so the boulder would have been like 6 feet.
6 feet. Okay. So
Diameter is the long one, right? Radius is the short one.
Diameter is the long
Diameter,
Yes,
like
yes.
6 feet in diameter.
Okay. So
And
I'm
don't
just gonna
laugh.
suggest,
I'm not a
like,
mathematician.
if I can get in behind it as you're putting these beams up, I can do thunder wave.
No, Flynn,
And it
just
can
let
go-
me punch it.
Yeah, then you're gonna fling it somewhere else.
Yeah, and she looks
destroy
at you and
another
says,
building.
"Well, what's the radius on Thunderwave?"
It's like 30 feet.
15-foot
cube, so yeah.
Did I do that? Yeah, 15-foot cube.
Also, Flynn, we don't want to fling it into some other storefront. If Jen
Catch
can
it.
break it up into pieces.
Yeah, just let me punch it.
Oh, yeah. Let
Yeah.
Jen break it into pieces.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the non-uniformed person turns to the two soldiers and goes, "All right, well, you heard her. Go get some beams." They're like, "Hup, yep," and they
I'm
run
gonna start
off.
examining the boulder for where I need to hit it.
Roll an investigation check with advantage
Ooh, we don't
because
have
she
any
kind of is giving
dwarves.
you pointers.
I don't have what?
We don't have any dwarves. Where are the?
We have Morag.
Where's the
Nat
rock walls?
20!
Not 20!
Nat 20 for
Not
22.
20! I
We
mean,
need the rock walls.
so she kind of gave you rough
jewelers.
ideas. So she gave you kind of like, well, try here, here, and here. And you like look at it and you go, well, actually, if I do here, 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 and here, I'll be good.
Ooh, I can do that in one round with my flurry of blows.
There you go. So the soldiers come back, and they have two beams with them, and they kind of drop them on the ground, run off, go grab a couple more.
Jen just kind of walks up to him and goes, skadoosh.
I have to wait. I have to wait. I have to wait for the supports to be up.
Yep. So the non-uniformed person says, I missed that when I was looking at it before. How'd you figure that out? Morag in her Scottish accent says, listen,
I dropped my dice.
I've had to build a lot of stuff in my time, so this is kind of stuff that's right up my alley. He goes,
She's not your average Clydesdale.
listen,
Got it. Oh, that's fun.
the one time I'll be able to do it. It's the one time. So the soldiers come back. Let's see. So one of the soldiers, they grabs the beam, pops it right into
Can we
place,
help
no
them?
problem. Yeah. Why don't you help the one that rolled a 5 on his
Yeah,
strength
let's
check?
help them. The one that looks like
Oh,
he's
much
struggling.
better. Much better. So the one guy kind of starts struggling to like pick up the beam. He's like, this would be so much easier if I had somebody to help me.
Can we help?
And the two halflings come
The
over,
short people.
hoist up to the other side. And he goes, "Thank you," and boop 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 boop, pop over.
No worries.
Yeah, he's holding it. He's holding it at waist level. We're holding it above our heads.
Yeah, pretty much. And they get two more beams, and so so you got beams in certain high structures, or certain points in the structure. Moray kind of looks at it, gives it one more look, and goes, "All right, that should be good. Jen, go do your thing."
Stuff.
Have at it, Jen. Go,
Do
Jen.
I get advantage since it's a rock?
I mean,
Nat 20!
Yay!
And a nat 1.
And a nat 1.
she crits hitting a rock. Hold on.
You
Well,
rolled
I
them
don't-
both.
I don't know Rock's AC,
No,
but I'm
this one
pretty
was
sure
Royal
nat
Rock.
20.
Okay. So I automatically get a d6, and then plus another d6, plus 4. So
So it's 6.
9 plus 6.
All right. Hold on.
So 15 damage on the first hit on the first spot.
Hold on. I have to look up the stats for a
Another
rock.
rock.
All
It
right.
is so weird sometimes.
Alrighty then. So
I bet its AC is like 10.
Okay.
I mean, how do you miss?
Well, it would be more like you don't hit it hard enough, kind of thing.
Yeah,
more than
that's true.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. So, screw it. You rolled nat 20. It's all good. So, was that just one punch?
That was the first section, yeah.
Okay,
'Cause you
yep.
said I had to hit 4 sections.
Four areas. Yep. So the first punch, you hit it with just the right amount of strength that it cracks without shattering.
Oh, the second punch. Wait, do I have advantage since it's not moving or no?
I mean, yeah, you're punching.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage on the first two, but the second two are straight up on your own.
Okay. Well, this one was plus 7, 14.
Yeah, not a problem. So, you're not as confident with this one, but you feel pretty good about, the crack you put in this one.
Nicked a little edge there. Yeah.
Yep.
That one was 7 damage to that section.
All right, so it's cracking, pretty much perfectly the way it's supposed to.
I can miss. 22 for the third hit to hit.
That'll hit.
Clancy's gonna.
Ew,
as
gross,
she's
but
doing
that's
this,
only 6 damage.
Clancy's
Okay.
gonna then.
Crack's not as big as the first two, but you still feel pretty good about you putting the right amount of pressure on there.
Last
This
hit
is why I try not to
Iggy
upset
smash.
And who says D&D isn't fun?
21
21. That will clearly hit.
for 9 damage.
Okay, yep, so not a problem. So alright, so where the where she had you punch and you kind of confirmed, it cracked into like this, like almost like a diamond shape. And she,
Gorgeous. I made a sculpture.
well, she looks over and she checks the supports again. She kind of like gives them a wiggle and, tries to wiggle them and they don't move at all. She goes, "All right, we're going to have to do this very slowly and very carefully." And the guard that you had to help is like, "I'm out." The second guard's like, "Come on. I
can help.
I got this. I got this." And she walks over and squeedoosh. Ugh.
I have pretty good strength. I can help her
Okay.
if you want. If I can.
All right. So, roll a strength check for me then, real quick.
Strength saving throw or just straight
Just
check?
just a check.
Or like athletics?
Nope. Just strength.
Okay. So plus my strength, that is a 12.
Okay. So both of you barely get one of the pieces out. One of the top
If it
pieces.
was athletics, it would have been a 16.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's all right. You guys made it barely, but between your two combined scores, you get it. You get it out, and you're kind of going very slowly, and Moray's kind of watching and going, "All right, that should be good." So you guys move on to the next piece. All right, give me another strength
right.
check.
Better, please. That is better.
That is a lot better for
All
the guard too.
That is a
Are
19.
these significant chunks that would weigh a lot, or
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I broke the big boulder into 4 pieces or 5 pieces.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Yep. So this one, because you guys are now used to the weight, You slide it out pretty easily. Structure's still stable. And then, so you took out the 2 top parts. Morai gives it one more look. She walks over, kind of wiggles the supports, and goes, I think we're good.
All right.
And the one guard that, like, was not into it at first, be like, all right, I think I could take over from here. And the other guard kind of looks at me and goes,
sure
really?
You got it, buddy?
You help now? Yeah, I mean, I, you know, you 2 ladies had it. You know, I'm all about, you know, girl power.
After you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. He walks up.
I do not help him. He needs it.
No. All right. This one, he's like, all right. Yeah. No, I'm good. Whew. Oh, this is heavier than it looks. And he like kind of hoists it on his shoulder and very precariously walks away. So the plainclothes individual's like, well, thank you. We didn't know we needed the help, but apparently the help is very much appreciated, so thank you. Now I gotta go in and take an assessment of the damage inside so I could run it over to Governor Strong to see, you know, what kind of funds he can approve to help the restaurant owner rebuild.
Well, and Flynn over here can hold a benefit concert if y'all need some funds raised.
Concert?
Ooh, all right. Well, that'd be something you have to bring up with Governor Strong. But to be fair, you know, folks needing help when they can, and you know, after what happened today, you know, I would say personal opinion. I'm not a decision maker, but personal opinion, you know, town could always use a bit of a lifting up. So, all right, thank you.
Well, good job. You're
Well,
stronger than you look.
I'm just the assessment guy. I didn't do anything. You have the 2 guards to thank.
Yeah,
And,
no, I said that to the male guard. You're stronger than you look.
Thanks. That was really heavy, by the way. Wow. And the other guard looks at him and goes, dude, come on. He's like, what?
Bad.
Come on. You had help. And she kind of looks at you, Jen, and is like, girl power.
Small, she practically did it by herself.
Yeah. All right. So you get that building cleaned up. You walk past this. You guys kind of make your way away from the restaurant because they seem to have that under wraps now. You see the crowd has kind of cleared away for the memorial. And you see a total. As you walk a little bit closer, you see a total of 8 pictures.
So we lost more than we thought.
Including the picture of the 9-year-old girl. That.
Yeah, I was under the impression that we only lost 1 or 2 civilians, so it sounds like we...
Yeah, does that include the guards? Because there was a couple guards that got...
None of the guards got hit. Remember, when the statues first came to life, the dragon came up and swiped its tail at the crowd, and then
they were all
it
going
threw
the boulder.
The boulder, you know, it's not like the Atlas chucked the boulder over the crowd and into the restaurant. It kind of tossed as far as it could, and then it like crashed through the crowd. So,
okay. I thought there was a guard or 2 that
might have gotten damaged. There were a couple that got hurt.
No, they all
nobody
took
went down.
off though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
if a guard did get it, they were off duty.
Hey, 3 of them came back, and Sergeant Bitteraxe never left. So
they were doing their best.
True.
But yeah, unfortunately, the damage we saw was all to civilians.
That's okay. I must have misremembered.
It's all good.
Didn't write all that down.
It's all good. It was a tense moment. I don't blame you.
It was.
I'll go up to the portraits and just sort of say a little prayer to the spirits of the winds that keep those little ones safe, all that were lost.
Yeah, and you see the girl, you see, you know, all different facial structures, different races, you know. Clearly, you know, it kind of hits you once again that kind of the assessment you made when all this first started happening is that they didn't care who or what was hurt.
Yeah, they were only going after chaos and hurting people that couldn't protect themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Terrorism.
That's what this was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right. Is there anything else? Is there anything else you guys would want to do today? Otherwise, we can fast forward to like dinner time or even to bed if you guys want to go that far. If there's anything else you wanted to do, like
we're coming
tonight.
up on wrap up. I mean, for me, it would be helping out wherever we can, but listening for talk of anything that seems relevant,
I mean, we could,
and then mealtime once we're done
Yeah.
helping.
Sure.
I mean, the only thing we could just say we did it. The only other thing was Clancy would want to go check on our friend from earlier who was part of the attraction, you know, who lost her cousin, just to make sure she's still okay.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
We
she's-
weren't going to be able to check with her till tomorrow. We wanted to check in to see if she'd gotten in touch with someone on help with the funeral arrangements, I thought.
Yeah, but she's at the garrison.
Yeah.
Yeah,
she's
at
gonna be
the
staying at the garrison.
dormitories. She's
Yeah.
at the dormitories.
At
Yeah.
the dorms. Yeah.
Yep.
While we're
Well,
at
and-
it, we should find out where Duncan is so we can talk to him.
He should be coming back to the dormitories too then.
Either
if-
the dormitories or still at the garrison in the jail.
He might sleep, at the garrison.
Yeah, we never really followed up with where he's like staying. The only thing I would be listening for, in addition to all that, is just if there's any rumblings, like anti-magic rumblings in the
Mhm.
town. Like if we go to
Mhm.
dinner at one of the taverns, like listening into the conversation, just kind of getting a feel for what people are talking about and if that's part of any of their conversations.
Sure. All right, so we'll run through this real quick, one at a time. Flynn, you said you wanted to. What did you want to do? I'm sorry.
I was just saying at some point here we should find out where Duncan is so we can
Right.
talk to him
Okay.
tomorrow.
All right. So, all right. So we'll do that in a minute. Clancy, you guys head over to the dormitories. Check in on the dwarven woman that was controlling the Atlas moving statue. She is still pretty shooken up, but she does let you know that she had requested the use of the sending stone at the Starhel Chronicle to try to get in contact with her family, her cousin's family in Baroni, and let them know what happened and start getting that figured out. And she said she was going to meet with Governor Strong tomorrow about assistance with funeral arrangements and stuff like that. So
It wasn't Boros, it was Baroni that most of those artificers came from.
Well, that's
I
where
don't know
these
that we
two
know
came
that.
from.
That's
You
where
know,
those
these
two
two came from there. That's
Oh,
what
I
you.
they
got the
came-
impression that because that was the name we kept throwing around. I got the impression that was where a lot of the ones that were accepted came from.
They came from all
No.
over.
Okay.
Arceus
I don't
is
think we know
where
where the-
Arceus is where the Inventors Guild headquarters is. Baroni is where a satellite office is. You haven't asked about, or you guys haven't checked into where other offices may be. All you know is from what Morag would know is that there aren't a lot. So,
Okay, yeah, because I thought the Baroni name had been thrown around a lot with them during that conversation. That was what was
that's
sticking with me
it was thrown
earlier.
around because that's where they're from. That's where she
Okay,
and
gotcha.
Carter are from. So
Okay.
that's why she threw it around a lot.
Okay.
So, so she's obviously like, well, thank you. I really appreciate you guys. You didn't have to stop in, but I really appreciate it. And yeah, at least while his last moments were probably terrifying, because for me, they were terrifying for me, but I'm trying to think about the fact that he at least got to do he got to be a part of something he really wanted to do. So that's
I
at least what
think-
I'm trying to think of it as.
Probably in his last moments, he was doing whatever he could to fight that thing causing havoc and mayhem and trying to take control just as you were and fighting everything it was doing.
Yeah.
And you're right. He did achieve what he wanted.
Yeah. So thank you again for checking in. I think I'll be okay. And hopefully I'll get to talk to the family later today and go from there. But thank you for
Let us
checking
know
in.
if you need anything.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Cool. So, Kira and Jen, give me perception checks.
Come on, dice, don't fail me now.
16.
16. Okay.
Perception, dirty 20.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20!
Woohoo!
So you guys like out during dinner and stuff like that, you get there aren't a lot of places that open up even for dinner time, but there's a couple that are like, you know what, let's just do it. Maybe we'll get people in and give discounted meals and stuff like that to kind of, help people maybe feel a little bit better about the day. So the place you guys go to, you don't get a lot of people that are doing the pounding of tables and all of that, but you both get the feeling that there's more of a conversation than maybe more conversation wrapped around magic use in general than maybe you'd even had to worry about. And Kira, you specifically noticed that you find it interesting because since this is a more industrial city than maybe some of the other cities in Starhel, the fact that this industrial city is having this conversation is very poignant. Because if go ahead, sorry.
I was just gonna say, the conversation, is it a positive conversation or a negative conversation?
You're hearing both sides. So you're hearing some people say, we need to... So you hear people going like, well, look, not every person that does magic is bad, so maybe we just need to be more careful about, who uses magic and stuff like that. And you hear people on the other side going like, if you try to take away magic use from the people, you're only going to get more people that get upset about it and
Abuse it, yeah.
And maybe start going to behind this, backdoor channels and, start doing, dark magic and stuff like that because it's something that they can get their hands on. And the people are like, well, yeah, but on the other hand, and you're hearing this debate back and forth. Which, in one way makes sense, but on the other hand is very surprising because, magic is, something that's used here, but it's not as prevalent. Magic is used here, but it's not as prevalent as some other areas in the country. So the fact that it's happening here, is maybe the start of something.
Attack with magic? The fact that an attack with magic is happening here?
Yeah. So.
Okay.
Well, the fact that they're talking about it, if it's not a hot topic normally, the fact that that's the main topic of conversation is significant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and finally, Flynn, before you guys head off back to the dormitories to head for bed for the night, you guys stop by the garrison, and check on Flynn or check on Duncan, and the guard up front says Duncan, takes out a big ledger, slaps on the table. Duncan. His name sounds familiar. Duncan, yeah. He was down for community service. He finished his mandatory 40 hours and left town 2 days ago.
He was allowed to just leave?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. I mean, he said something about he wasn't from around here, had bad memories, needed to find his place in the world, so he said he was leaving. And, he performed his he performed his 40 hours of community service as recommended by Commander Icewind and Governor Strong, and
wow, he was only giving community service without having to do a contract with the garrison, but we had to do a contract with the garrison.
Well,
you guys
vouched for him.
Yeah,
you guys vouched for him. Nobody vouched
That's
for you.
Our word.
Yeah.
Did he say where he was headed?
why nobody vouched for us. Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
or are there places at the gates where people say where they're going? Like, did he declare a city or a town where he was headed to?
I bet I know where he was headed.
No, he you know, as far as we're concerned, you know, we're gonna we you know, mark our records that, you know, he fulfilled his, you know, obligations here, and then that gets reported to all of the other major cities that, you know, if you come across this individual, just to let you know that they have a clear record based on doing this community service for us. So, I mean, it's not like they needed to declare where they were going.
Morag
He
might
just,
have an idea.
yeah.
I bet he's going to swing by Lockjaw's.
Maybe.
Well, he left 2 days
Well,
ago,
if he did, it
so
was 2 days ago.
I mean, it doesn't take a full day to get out there, but I bet he spent the night, and maybe Lockjaw would have some kind of an idea.
Maybe. As long as he's not meeting back
Yeah.
up with Shing Shing.
And on the way, you know, we could just head out that way, stop by Lockjaw's on the way to Moore or something. You know. Hey, Jen, we're going to be back on the road.
Yay, so many things to have to watch out for.
I can sing every night again.
So we can talk about that raise now, right?
all right.
I mean, yeah, we'll talk to Icewind next time we see him.
No. You, who is in a whole lot more trouble than you let on when I took this contract.
Listen, I didn't want you to worry.
All right. So, with this new information, you guys head back to the dormitories. You guys all lay your head down after it was a very tumultuous day. A lot of chaos, a lot of questions. Some questions were answered, some questions led to other questions. And as everybody lays their head down for the night to see what tomorrow will bring, we will wrap it up for the day
With a long rest?
with a long rest.
And horrible dreams about parades.
No dreams.
Flynn, roll me a wisdom savings throw. I'm kidding.
Oh,
But
I was really going to do it.
nah, you're good. Nah,
He's like really getting ready.
I don't have anything planned yet. Oh,
Yeah.
that was it. Good
Yes,
job
he said.
tonight, everyone.
Yay!
Thank you.
So, once again, a huge thank you to everyone in chat. Thanks for the raids. We had subs. It was all very much appreciated. Thank you very much. And we will be back, as always, for the replay tomorrow. At 11 a.m. Central, noon Eastern. Otherwise, we will be back on next Tuesday to see what happens with the party next. In the meantime,
Morag.
hopefully with Morag and her way better than mine Scottish accent. I was fine
mention
until
for our DM tonight.
Stop it. I get another
loved you,
villain
Sean
point.
Connery. That was pretty good.
Sean Connery,
Listen.
Jimmy Stewart.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking about there. That's just
This is
what, you
amazing.
want me to throw a lasso over the moon? I'll do it. I got 1,000 voices except the one I'm supposed to do. And in the meantime, as always, go check out our Discord, go check out our TikTok. We're approaching 600 on TikTok, if memory serves me correct.
Getting close. Getting close.
We
Once
just
again-
surpassed 100 here on Twitch.
That's
Yeah, just to hit our
Close
100
to
on
1,000.
Twitch. Yeah, we get to 1,000, and then we'll be able to stream live through TikTok, which would be super exciting. Super fun.
Cool.
So let's wrap tonight up with a raid. Our good friends over at Blue Cottage D&D are currently streaming. They're probably going to be wrapping up soon, but let's go pop
Yeah.
over and say hi.
Oh, Goblins and Warlocks, you can join us for the raid.
There we go. Welcome in.
Hey.
Hi and bye. So thanks to everyone that came in. Lively chat as always. We very much appreciate it. Lurkers, we love you as well. So everyone enjoy the rest of your night and enjoy the replay tomorrow. Otherwise, we'll see you next Tuesday. So bye. And we're going to wave here for 8, 7,
Oh, we're still
6.
Well, you can
five,
go to the ending
Four.
screen and do the raid
No.
from there, you
No,
goober.
we're doing it like this, and we're going. Bye. There we go. And now we're gone.
Cockney rhyming speak, so I have something. I'm gonna butcher it, so I apologize ahead of time.
Yes,
So I'm going to
yes.
respond. I'm gonna respond. We're having a butchers for some real bucks that have been half-inching some bees and honey. These tea leaves have been showing their boats around the frogs and scoppering off. There's been some real bonny over it. We're helping out the ducks and geese to stay out of a flowery dell, and you'd be a real treacle tot if you pass along any brown fat.
Looks at you, Morag.
Well, there wasn't a day where I didn't think about you, or all the other
It wasn't
sisters,
about
and
taking
mom, of
away
course. but-
choices. It was about
As you speak, you're talking about your
putting
mom.
magic in the right hands.
What?
Nice. I like it.
She doesn't have moms.
Nice.
At off.
Thank you.
Very
Ooh.
sexy.
Now I want to hear